And I do believe that we are on. Welcome everyone. Come on in. I'm going to try delaying for a few moments as we start up our stream. Yes, the stream has now officially begun. Welcome. Let me lower the volume a little bit. It might be a little loud for the desktop audio for right now. Let's got some background music going on here. Very bad background music, but just ambience to add some to the mood. Welcome. I can see the excitement in chat already in terms of the stream starting. This is going to be a very casual sort of stream. I'm not going to give you any, not going to be a real program. In fact, we might even veer off course at some point and just talk about random stuff. So be ready for that. Though, of course, we are going to discuss the big drama of the weekend. Specifically, my recovery from COVID and how last stream was cut short a little bit because I was struggling with COVID while talking about hot Pokemon adults. But yeah, no, welcome. Gonna take it nice and you had to be here. Yeah, we have a lot to discuss today. Most of it positive, I'd say. I don't think it's too negative of a stream. But there are things we have to discuss, and for better or worse, we have to discuss the drama. Some people are here for drama. Yeah, exactly. I think almost everyone. But don't worry, I'm gonna make it. We're gonna start heavy, and we're gonna end on a lighter note, I think. Am I feeling better? Yeah, I'd say better from last week in terms of physically. But I'm exhausted. This week has been very exhausting so far. It's been a long week, in general. Specifically given the parameters of what's been going on. 147 people here. Okay, wow. Because a lot of people want to know what's going on. Okay, wow. Yeah, no. So, thank you. Yeah, no, the Lily situation is a complete mess. I don't want to spend the entire stream talking about Lily personally, but I do feel like we have to discuss that. That's essential. I need to end on an uplifting note before I go to bed. I'll tell you that right now, because it's been way too exhausting of a period of time for this. Okay, I'm going to let some more people file in, but it looks like we have a pretty big crowd. And it's been interesting, too. I've gotten a few people have reached out to me even, to offer some support and ask how I was feeling, which was pretty incredible. I'm surprised some people were interested in my well-being with all this, but... Have I tried reaching out to Law YouTube? Well, I tried tagging Legal Eagle on Twitter, but that's not really the most professional way of reaching out to someone, so I can't guarantee that I'll get a response that way. And I'm not even entirely sure we'll need to, and I'll explain why later. There's been some developments that I've realized since coming home and being able to look at my desktop that change a few things about the situation in a way that I think is encouraging. $700 is crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, but I figured that was more than what she was earning a month making videos. Based on how much she makes. It's surprising how... I didn't realize until I really started digging in how few views Lily is getting. Comparable to, Psy or my own channel in terms of viewer... The ratio of subscribers to average viewer count. This music's scary. It'll switch soon enough. I'm just playing generic music I have the license to use, so YouTube doesn't, ban me or something like that. Lord knows I don't need another strike on my channel until I get this one resolved. Yes, so I do want to talk about June the King. I am aware June the King is making a video on Lily. I do not know specifically what will be in that video by June the King. I just know it's being produced. I do not know the time it's going to be released. I do not know anything. Just that it exists. Let me move my face away so you can see the wallpaper. I just got this off of the wallpaper engine, which, by the way, all my wallpapers I get off the wallpaper engine. It's just a cool little thing. Yeah, that's Utna. I figured it was thematically relevant since all this really started with Sai's video on how Lily Orchard doesn't get Utna. So I figured it was kind of thematic. Wait, I can't grab my face. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so... It's pathetic how r/YouTube drama are calling you and Sai Nazis for picking a fight with a trans person. God forbid the trans person is in question is an actual scumbag. I don't think I've seen r/YouTube drama call me a quote unquote that, but it'd be very strange if they did, because they probably are jumping in on the story without really knowing the full story. And again, most of the discussion around Lily has been her ideas, at least from my perspective. I'm not really a drama person. I don't like drama. I like discussing media criticism and analyzing that. So I'm not really interested in discussing the specifics of the accusations. Though I should mention, I have talked to, for those who don't know, I'm on a couple of Discords, and Lily's sister Courtney, I found out, is on one of the Discords I'm on. So we had a conversation there. We talked about Baldur's Gate, which is fun. So let's talk about a few of the key things, all right? Enough people are here. We can probably jump into the big stuff. So yeah, first and foremost, I have submitted 5 counterclaims against Lily Orchard's 5 claims of my videos. For every video Lily has tried taking down, I have put up a counterclaim against. So you might see people say, oh, you've only got 1 strike. Why are you sending 5 counterclaims? Well, the reason for that is simple. Lily struck down 5 of my videos at once. I believe that, oh, I'm glad you approved of it, Chloe. I love this. I love Utna so much. Actually, I should just do an Utna video. Would you want to see an Utna video? Chloe, would you like to join in on an Utna stream? I feel like that'd be fun. Anyway, we need an Ant and Courtney Nerd Girl stream. If I can get Courtney on a stream, I will. She seems really chill. Sai too. Sai's pretty chill. We've talked as well. Okay, so let's talk about the core things. My channel is not going anywhere anytime soon, and there's a few reasons for that. One, yeah, Courtney seems pretty chill. I would stream with Courtney if she's up for it. I don't know if she would be, but if she's up for it, I'd be down for that. No, so first thing, my channel is not going anywhere. I have issued a counterclaim to each of Lily's claims. Now, she has issued a claim on every single video that she believes she can strike. She's under the impression that she could not get away with a strike on my big Pokemon review video, and she's correct. There's no way she could ever get away with that. It cannot be seen as a replacement for her content. Now, her other streams, she's issued a specific set of complaints against, and there's a few key elements to her complaints I want to break down that, or rather her accusations, that make it impossible for her to enforce it. The first and foremost, and this is why YouTube has accepted all these claims, by the way. They've sent them off to Lily to respond to. I think Sai is convinced that Lily did this in part to get doxing information on both myself and Sai. The joke is I've been doxed for years, so none of this means anything to me. Lily could have gotten the information of my dox very easily outside of that, so I don't care about that too much. Anyway, so what was I going to say? So what I was going to say was, so she's already issued a claim on all the videos she thinks she can claim, and I've counterclaimed all of them. Now, the ball is now in Lily's court. She has one of 2 options now. Either A, she can let the counterclaims slip through, and in 10 days, this is all over. The videos are restored. The strike is removed from my channel, and Lily can move away pretending that she issued a claim by mistake. Now, the reason why it's impossible for her to enforce her claims, ultimately, it's twofold. One, she claimed in her specific claim that my entire video was her content, which is simply not the case. She claimed that throughout the entire video I used copyrighted material, which is impossible. For some of the videos, they're over 2 hours long, and Lily's video is like 30 minutes in length. We talk over the video. We cut up the video, essentially. And she doesn't own any of the properties shown in any of the videos. So unless so when we pause the screen, for example, and we freeze on, let's say, a picture from, shall we say, Kingdom Hearts. Lily doesn't own Kingdom Hearts. So you can't possibly say you own the screen when it's paused. The only thing Lily owns is her audio. And there's nothing illegal about quoting someone in an academic source. That's basic citation, actually. Further, given the rules of fair use, commentary is allowed. The very famous H3H3 podcast suit pretty clearly laid out that if you're commenting, responding, engaging with an idea, it's okay. That's the gist of it. It's a real summed up version. I go into it more in my video I've already posted, but again, and also 3 of the Pokemon streams that I did only show a part of her video. I only go over a bit of it in each stream. Lily argued, and I have Lily's Tumblr up, I'll bring it up in a second. For some reason, Lily hasn't blocked me on Tumblr, though I'm sure after this stream they'll be different, but I digress. Anyway, so Lily claims I use her content throughout my streams, which is not true. It's impossible, actually, because the only thing that she owns is her voice and her words that she says, and even then, basic response. The other thing is that she is now in a position where she can really commit a federal crime, if she so chose. Lily Orchard, right now, if she acts based on instinct, will have committed a federal crime. It is illegal to make a false DMCA claim. If she chooses to continue to dig her heels in the sand and keep fighting this, there will be legal consequences. This is her last chance before she commits a crime. With knowing it isn't true, Anthony, due to fair use, she owns the editing of her videos as well. Just clarifying, because I think that's important. Yeah, that's a fair point. Okay, so she owns the editing of her videos as well. That's a fair... Thank you, Charisma Caster, for that. That's a very good point. Yeah, she owns the editing as well. That's valid. But when you freeze frame the video, it's no longer her editing. It's just a clip from another source. And even her editing acquires use of fair use material. Her own editing requires her to follow through with fair use. Yeah, so here's what happens. If Lily enforces her copyright on either myself or Psy's content. Yeah, oh, by the way, no misgendering Lily in the comments, all right? Listen, let's respect... I realize that she is a terrible person, but let's not pretend that she does not deserve the respect of, using the right pronouns, all right? Yeah, seriously. Chloe, you have permission to just lock... If anyone misgenders Lily, you have permission to just lock them out as a moderator, by the way, Chloe. Full permission. And if I catch it, I'll do the same, because it's just not okay. I don't like that. This is a general warning to chat. Do not misgender anyone. This is not a chat where you can make fun of trans people, all right? That's something I firmly will push. Lily's actions are not reflective of trans people as a collective whole. It's reflective of Lily's actions individually. Anyway. So Lily can commit a federal crime if she pushes this further. This is her last chance. But yeah, so what was I going to say? Yeah, so all the videos we've been pushing through. It's good. Psy has had a little more trouble with her videos, and I'm going to explain why I think that is. So Lily took down 5 of my videos and 4 of Psy's, but she broke it up with Psy in 2 different strikes, which itself is illicit, and I think also reflective of her general goal of just silencing her critics rather than enforcing her copyright. So Psy put in her 4 requests. It sounds like only 1 got through YouTube. That is important to note. Lily has not rejected any of Psy's claims as of my understanding of it early this afternoon. I haven't spoken to Psy since this afternoon, but as of this afternoon, it was YouTube that blocked it. Because I was ready to call a lawyer, honestly. When I heard Psy was having trouble, I thought Lily had done something, so I was about to call a lawyer. I held back because I realized it was the YouTube system, not Lily, causing an issue. But still, some of Psy's went through. I will. Listen, here's what's going to happen. If she does not let this pass, I will call a lawyer. It will become a matter of intellectual copyright law. That is what will happen. I think Lily probably thinks I won't do it, but I will. I actually have experience in the legal industry before coming here to YouTube. I worked for some time at a law firm. In my capacity in my day job, I regularly work with legal departments, both in actually multiple jobs I've worked with legal departments regularly. Yeah, so that's it right there. I will bring this forward to the court if I feel Lily is breaking a federal law in order to bully and silence her critics beyond what she's already done. And in that case, it won't just be a YouTube channel thing. It will be a court of law thing, because this is now affecting businesses. This is affecting finances. And quite frankly, I will push as far as I need to get this matter settled. And she has no case. And I think she'd have to know that too. I don't want to overstate anything. I don't want to be, oh, how dare you, Lily? I'll bring you to court and sue you. Nothing like that. I don't want to go there. Personally, I'd rather this be resolved without going to court. But if I have to do it, I will. Because at this point in the game, it's not a matter simply of... it's not just about the video. It's about the preservation of this channel. Ruthic Gooby. I love that name. So Gothic Gooby. Thank you for the super chat. Put this, these €2, €2 or £2, I'm never sure with currency symbols, towards the lawyer fund. Yeah, thank you. If it comes down to it, I will do a few more streams to raise money for a law firm, and it would have to be a joint action between me and Sai. We've discussed this. We are both willing to work together in a class action against Lily if it comes down to it. So if one of us goes, even if we don't both have to go to court, we will chip in for a lawyer. Yeah, and a lot of people... Oh, those are pounds. Okay, thank you. Sorry. I never know currency outside the United States dollars. And the yen symbol. I know that. I'm very cultured, clearly. I studied in England. How do I know what a pound symbol is? Wow, my goodness. But I went to England right before Brexit, so maybe that'll be my excuse, I guess. Yeah, so Lily's 5 of my videos are currently copyright struck still. I'm going to double check the status right now to see if anything's changed. Nope, all have been forwarded to Lily. Now, Lily of course, based on the way the YouTube system works. So if you don't know how the YouTube copyright system works, I'll explain it to you. Anyone can claim they have a copyright on something. So that's one thing first and foremost. Anyone can claim they have a copyright. They really don't have to prove it to YouTube to enforce it. They just have to report, my copyright was taken and I can enforce it. And what happens then is the video in question that broke the copyright is removed from YouTube. It's then up to the person who's been struck to either reach out through email to the copyright holder or file a counterclaim. I chose the counterclaim immediately because I think talking to Lily is pointless without a lawyer. It's pointless. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to tell Lily stop? She's not going to stop. Chloe. I'm just reading Chloe's comment here. Chloe, if you don't know Chloe Sunflora, you should follow her. She's a fantastic video essayist, and we've collaborated multiple times on this channel, and hopefully you can come on again because it'll be really fun. Honestly, I've never prayed for anyone's downfall in the way I have for Lily Orchards since 2016 when it came out how she abused Josh Scorcher. Yes, agreed. And quite frankly, listen, I'm not going to say that I wish harm on anyone. I really don't. If this could be resolved without anyone losing their channel or losing any financial, source of income, I would choose that path. The problem is every time I've chosen that path, Lily has ignored it and doubled down. And it's really depressing because, quite frankly, this could be resolved so easily. But she's just not. It's ridiculous trying to reason with her at this point. I realize that now. Roni Phoenix. Oh, it looks like you've joined as a member. That's incredible. Good job. Thank you so much for joining. That'd be great. Welcome aboard. You're. By the way, anyone who wants to join as a member, you get a few videos early each week. There's a couple of things I upload as well. I might upload another interview from Pride Month this week as well, for members exclusively. And this Friday, I should mention this. I am working on this Friday's video. We're going back to familiar territory, of course. Gonna be talking about Spooderman a little bit. Gonna talk about some Spider-Mans this week. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What happened here? Why is this? Oh, wow. Okay, I must miss this chat. Baichi Apiadera, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. 50. Oh my goodness. I got a round of applause for you. That's incredible. I just want to reward the non-misgendering of anyone, specifically since I am misgendered at my job constantly and told to grin and bear it. Props for keeping the high ground. Yeah, 100%. It's awful that you've ever dealt with misgendering. That is horrendous, and I can't stand how people do that. You deserve better, quite frankly, and thank you for your incredible generosity. This is incredible. And yeah, let's not misgender Lily. There's a ton we can criticize Lily for. Let's not resort to transphobia in the name of criticizing her. Blue Baron, thank you for the super chat. Like the stream. I hope everything works out for both. Yeah, I hope so too. Sai and myself have worked very hard creating material to criticize bad faith media criticism. I think that's an important goal. Some people might ask why you want to criticize bad faith takes in media. Well, I think it's important because what happens is if you allow bad faith interpretations of media just to go rampant, to go out there, what you end up doing is you allow these awful takes to become prolific, to take root. And what happens ultimately is people just have a bad time with media. It's not fun for anyone involved. All right, let me go back to the music so I can have that playing in the background there. 1 second. I do like some background noise. Here we go. Wow, Chris, thank you for the super chat. I just saw that too. I'll click right back on. I know another donation already said something about this, but misgendering someone is disrespecting all trans people, not just her. Yeah. Anyway, the music's a little loud. Sorry about that. Yeah. I agree. So misgendering someone isn't just disrespecting Lily. It's disrespecting every trans person you meet. That's partially why also I feel the same way about like body shaming as well. Like if you make fun of, like that's why I don't like making fat jokes, because if you make a fat joke, you're insulting every single fat person. You're not just saying, oh, this person is bad. And also you tie morality to physical appearance, which is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Charisma Caster, thank you. $100. That is incredible. Oh my goodness. What is the best way to get a hold of you? If it comes down to going the legal route, I would like to contribute a substantial amount to ensure you get the best representation possible. Wow. First off, thank you for your generous donation. The best way of getting to reach me is either through Discord or through my business email. My business email can be accessed through my YouTube account. That will be, I check that every so often, like every couple of days. But that being said, Discord is a good way too. If you're a member of my Discord, you can easily reach out to me there. I'm pretty easy to reach usually. Yeah, thank you so much. This is incredible. I really appreciate the kindness. This is overwhelming in so many ways because, you know, I first started this channel. I never expected to get anyone watching. I thought I would be a couple people maybe, but we're only 7 months into since my first video was uploaded, and already I've talked to people who are incredibly brilliant and talented creators. You're all watching. I never thought I'd have an audience of 367 concurrent people on a stream at once, but here we are. It's incredible. Where can I find your Discord? Well, my Discord can be accessed either through my membership page or my Patreon. If you sign up my Patreon, you get an automatic link to my Discord. It's a cool little community. Even if you throw $1 in, that's fine. You can throw $1 once, get my Discord, and then you can draw out, and I won't kick you out of the Discord ever. A couple dogs outside of here barking. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about a few things involving the Lily situation that you want to discuss. One of those is Lily's posts. She's issued a few fairly threatening statements that I want to discuss. As you can see, I am not... The guy, thank you for the member. That's fantastic. I'm glad you joined as a member. It's so cool. Anthony, does Lily intend to dox and harass you after you try to enact copyright strikes against you and strike? So, well, Lily might just try to dox me, yes. However, Lily also doesn't need my information to dox me. I've been doxed years ago by Comicsgate. They doxed me a very long time ago. So nothing Lily can do is that unique. She doesn't have any information that's unique to her. Anyone can access my docs very easily. But, you know. So, let's talk a little bit right here. So, this is Lily Orchard's Tumblr account. I opened it up for the sake of this discussion. You may not see it because you might be banned from it, because she bans everyone who she doesn't like from looking at her Tumblr. But I happen to be someone who not only... by the way, Lily, if you are watching, several of these anons are me. For example, where's one I sent? It's over here somewhere. So. Poppy, toxic person. Where are you? There's one I put here somewhere. I'm going to go through her entire Tumblr right now, actually. More specifically, what she's said about me in relation to this case, just so everyone's on the same page. Where are you? Wow, you must have put a lot in since I put my anon on here. Come on a second. Also, she hates Astarion, which is bizarre to me, but whatever. Oh, there's a lot of posts here. Okay. Also, I don't know why she likes that Place Further in the Universe anime. I'm not a big fan of it. I never really watched it all that much. It doesn't ever felt like something I'd enjoy. Silas, thank you for joining. Oh, as a storyteller, it's incredible. Thank you for the membership. I really appreciate it, all of it. It's around here, I think. I left my first ask for you, Lily. Sai doxed you in the email. We'll talk about that in a second. Getting to the beginning of this. I really should have scrolled down to the beginning of the of her stuff to really discuss this. By the way, Lily, you like all these like Moe Blob shows. Why have you never watched this Azumanga Like, watch a good slice of life show. Like, watch a really good, compelling one with good characters. But again, I shouldn't really be recommending anything to you because... Oh, here we go. This is mine. This is my ask right here. It looks like you're also dealing with Ant now. We dealt with him a while back, too. He's a crappy writer with thousands of articles out there for a bunch of sites like CBR and the Mary Sue. I think he said on X he even wrote some for a prawn company or something. I knew that when I wrote X that was the funniest bit because no one calls it X. She really should have seen through that alone, I think. And a prawn site, really. Though I have done that. That is very true. Toppin, thank you for the super chat. This is a dumb question. Never a dumb question. But I genuinely wonder what Lily's fans stand to defend her with regard to things like this, or even her previous comments in general. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I've actually talked to several former Lily fans over the last couple of months, and it sounds like a lot of them were very young, very impressionable, and they felt like an attack on Lily was an attack on their personhood, which is unfortunate that they had to deal with that. Yeah, prawn, right? I had to write it in. I had to make it as cringy as possible. But Lily's point of references are usually like based on like stuff from like the 2000s, so you know. She thinks a weeb has a Naruto headband. Anyway, let's read a few of Lily's incriminatory statements and why I think they're incriminatory. Post canceled. The Madhouse is gone. MMOs. How many fights in the Pokemon video did you struggle on? By Gen. This is also incorrect, this list. She struggled with many more. She says she didn't struggle with anyone in Gen 1. That Lance she struggled with in Gen 2. I mean, ignoring the time you struggled with Claire. Baichi, thank you for joining as a member. This is incredible. Anyone who wants to join as a member, you absolutely can. I'm excited to have you aboard. I'll be reposting link to my Discord and membership because I know it's a little wonky sometimes with members, but in terms of like the automatic, oh, hey, you joined. Join my Discord. You know, it's a little wonky, I know, but I'll repost to make sure everyone gets on. None in Gen 3. Well, that's a lie. None in Gen 4. That's a lie. And in Nimbasa City. That was not a lie. You did struggle there. Yeah, so I think you kind of like hid a little bit how many people we struggled with, but I digress. Oh, I have a Tumblr account, actually. I've actually sent her asks on the Tumblr account. You need an account on Tumblr to send anonymous asks, so. Not sure what that is. Also, by the way, some people have reached out about Essence of Thought. I don't really know who they are. I know they made a few videos, but I don't have a strong opinion on Essence of Thought, so I'm not a person to ask about anything with that with. Okay, so Avatar, Anon, Dama Aelin. Okay, the most wholesome anime you've ever seen, Hamtaro. Well, there's better anime than Hamtaro. Come on. New Dragon Age game, VTuber models. So here's one, Tardigrade. Tardigrades, you know, like water bears. She has been saying Tardigrade a lot on Tumblr, using it as an insult, calling me a tardigrade, calling my followers on Twitter a tardigrade. That's a really obvious reason. Obviously, we all know why she's saying tardigrade. It's because she wants to say the R word without saying the R word. We know that's what you're doing, Lily. It's not clever. But someone on Tumblr asked her, "May I ask why you use tardigrade as an insult, given it does bring to mind the R slur? Like, personally, I just find it too similar that even as a fan, I'm uncomfy, and it feels too similar to calling someone the R slur." Lily's response: "A tardigrade is a microscopic creature that is like a cockroach on meth in terms of its ability to survive in the most toxic environments. They live on every surface, even people's skin. It accurately represents the simultaneous ubiquity and insignificance of Twitter as a million little unintelligent bottom feeders. If I wanted to call Twitter users R-word, there's plenty of ways to do it. Brain damaged, inbred, conservative, weeb, Twitter user, mother with third trimester alcoholism, a walking PSA against baby shaking, the kind of person who would pay to see a VTuber in concert, Channer, Kiwi farmer, and last but certainly not least, Keffels." Okay, I'll give you that, Lily. The last one you were kind of cooking, but everything else was horrible. I'm not a fan of Keffels, in case you don't know. That's okay. So yeah, Lily is defending the fact that she's obviously trying to get around saying a slur. Tardigrades are incredible creatures, by the way. They survive on Mars. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Lily obviously never saw tardigrades in Star Trek Discovery. I don't think Lily's seen Star Trek. She's never mentioned Star Trek before, I don't think. But yeah, no, Lily is very ableist. She just hides it with her pseudo-leftist statements to make it sound like she's not, but she is. Anyway. Let's get to the next thing she said that was very bigoted and against me. Oh, by the way, Side docks the email you used in the takedown notice, but I wouldn't expect anything less at this point. My YouTube email exists solely for my YouTube channel. It is not for my personal email at all. Now, by the way, 80% of these asks are just Lily talking to herself. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. So yeah. So Sai posted the takedown letter that Lily sent. And, yeah, so technically it is personal information. When I reached out to YouTube, they did tell me to delete the post I made showing the email because it contained personal information, and I blocked because I didn't really look at the emails all that much. I was like, oh, yeah, here's the takedown notice, screen cap of the email, here you go. I didn't know she had an email on it at all. YouTube said, hey, maybe take it down, and I did. So, there you go. But yeah, no, so... yeah, that's fair. You know, it's fair to say that has private information. It would be more fair if she didn't just decide to post all of our private information publicly, but what are you going to do? Okay, so, next one. And she's doing a Korra video. By the way, I did try to watch Lily's live streams. They are painful to watch. She just sits there and types, which is fine, but it's just not entertaining. And she makes fun of her chat. Doris... okay, so Lily also seems to believe that everyone who disagrees with her is transphobic. Let's read something that she wrote, maybe to herself. I think this Anna might be real. This doesn't look like Lily's style of writing. "I'm not saying anything when I say I disagree with your media takes. It's not transphobic to say I don't agree with Lily Orchard's criticism of X. Why do you insist so many people lie about you when they just don't agree with what you have to say? Sure, there's definitely some people out there acting in bad faith towards you, but for the most part, not everyone who disagrees with you is an evil, dishonest transphobe. The internet is not some echo chamber that will nod along with whatever opinions you spout online. I wish you would look at things with more nuance. That's a good comment. I like that. Okay, Charisma Caster. I can't find your Patreon, and it should be linked in my description. Let me post a link to my Patreon real quick. My page. Here. I'm gonna post a link to my Patreon in the link in the chat real quick. Here is my Patreon. It's not very good. It's a very minor. Wait, did that go? I'm not sure. I hope that linked. If not, then I'll figure something else out. But it should be linked. It should be connected on my YouTube, and in many of my YouTube video descriptions, it should still be there. Anyway, yeah, this is a fair response. So, what Lily's response to that is this. The problem is, are you disagreeing with my actual media takes, or media takes someone pretended I said? That's the important part. Well, Lily, I responded to your videos directly to show I was talking about your media takes in particular, and you tried to take my video down. MC, thank you for the super chat. Hope this gets resolved. Loved your 4-hour video. Yeah, it will get resolved ultimately, which is good. I'm happy about that. And again, I was talking to another YouTuber, a much bigger channel than myself or Lily, today actually, because this one user reached out to offer sympathy. This one has gone through the ringer recently, and asked, "Hey, I just saw what was going on. I hope you're doing all right." And, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. How you doing? You know, I know you've been going through a lot too." And he offered some advice, you know, because he's dealt with copyright strikes before. Nice guy, though. He's definitely a very controversial figure. I don't want the chat to become all about him. But anyway, so he's been through the ringer. He said, "Oh, listen, here's my advice. You know, here's what you gotta deal with." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it." Yeah, no. Hope he gets back on his feet too. Anyway, so Lily. Okay, so she did mention Star Trek in the past, but only about one badass captain character. Was it Janeway? Was it Janeway from Voyager? I imagine that would be the one character she'd talk about. Anyway. Oh, so we did mention Star Trek right here. Oh, yes, the Star Trek right here. Lower Decks, the final season of Lower Decks just dropped. Remember doing video on it when it started. Okay, so she's done Lower Deck stuff. Okay. That's cool. Okay, so let's keep going. Comments. Nothing important. So around this point in time is when I got the takedown notices sent my way. Now, I actually sent several other messages anonymously to Lily through this. I was mentioning legal cases that she should look into, because if you see that, you will know you have no case. Anyway, hearing Lily raw without commentary makes me hurt as much as a trans person and someone who doesn't have skin color dysphoria. So nothing is hidden. I'm Scottish of French descent. Yeah, there we go. Scottish French. Yeah, I'm sure for trans people, especially, Lily's comments must be awful to read. Of course, I'm not trans, so I can't speak to that experience. But if you are trans and you feel like you're put under a microscope because of Lily's antics, or you feel like she is appropriating your pain to further her own personal agendas, A, your pain is valid, and B, I'm really sorry you're dealing with that. That's really horrendous that you have to deal with this on a constant basis, thanks to Lily. Silverheart Soul, thank you for the super chat. Sup? Busy. Not staying, sadly. I will rewatch it later. This girl really wants to big internet to burn and destroy her as if she made the world the craziest Sonic and Pokemon crossover. Yeah, there's no scenario in which she walks away from this. That's why I find so baffling. There is no way, even if she destroys my channel and Sai's channel, she's not walking away with this. She's already gotten too many eyes on her from all this. All right, cool. Oh, 2 super chats. Seamus Burke, thank you for the super chat. Saw Lily's public post that you shared this morning. That be damning evidence in court. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you. It is damning evidence. And I'm going to get to that too soon. I'm going to go through her whole Tumblr that's relevant to this discussion of the case. And when we get to that, we'll get to that. Thank you. Charles Aaron Mallet, thank you for the super chat. Here's hoping this all resolves without having to go to court, so you can use this cash for something fun instead. I 100% agree. If Lily is watching, let's resolve this without going through the legal system. Just take it down. Take the strikes down against myself and Sai, and try to walk away with this with some dignity. I know you probably have some follower in chat watching. This can easily be resolved. The only one escalating this is you, Lily. And unfortunately, at the stage we're at right now, there is only one inevitable outcome, because I will follow this until the end. End it peacefully, without having to resort to anything else, and it will be much better. It's not worth losing your channel, or having to lose your one source of income, or having committed a federal crime to continue this. It's just not worth your time. Dango, thank you for the super chat. Go to court, get more money. maybe, but I'd rather this end just peacefully. That's my ideally. This ends without going to court, but we'll see. Given the subject, I'm curious what you think about this discussion of fanfiction versus copyright. Not all fanfiction is made equal in that regard. Some genres of fanfiction, rewrites, songfics, novelizations, RPFs, are flagrant copyright infringement, which was why they were often straight up banned from most fanfiction websites. Oh, Lily, no. No. Lily, no. Songfics were never banned, well, not banned on fanfiction.net, and novelizations are just totally fine too, if you're on fanfiction.net. Early days of fanfiction.net saw a lot of people adding legal disclaimers saying they don't own the material they're writing for, claiming it would keep them from being taken down. In reality, these disclaimers do nothing to protect you. AO3 bans Patreon links on the basis that making money from fanfiction will bring down copyright suits. Reality is that it doesn't actually matter if you're making money or not. Infringement is determined by other factors. Lily, what the Okay. Lily, the reason they did that was because of Anne Rice. Because Anne Rice was pushing for the... Oh, Lily, for someone who claims to be a historian of fandom, you know nothing about this topic. Ugh. 20 Angry Ducks, thank you for the super chat. I think Lily knows there's no saving her career and is instead aiming to take anyone she can down with her. That's possible. Her views have been very bad for her subscriber count. I mean, listen, they're comparable to my views, and I'm a fairly new channel. Wokadora, CLP 1000, I'm not sure what that equates to. Beat Lily at 55. Horror, bro. Here's hoping. Oh, beat Lily at 55. And horror. Beat Lily's ass. I'm sorry. Horror, bro. Yeah, thank you. That was a fun. We were on Side's Discord talking about horror movies the other day. It was a lot of fun. Good taste in horror movies, by the way, Wokadora. You have some good taste there. Especially talking about Lake Mungo. That was a fun one. And Jacob's Ladder was a good one, too. Anyway. The truth is that fanfiction has long been protected by the sheer indifference of the copyright holder, because nobody can claim fanfiction damaged the integrity of the work in question. Lily, you're having no respect of the hard work that AO3 does to protect the rights of fanfiction. We've come a long way since the days of Anne Rice taking everything down. Dango, thank you for the super chat. Peaceful ending. Go to court. Lily's career ends. That's fair. To quote Ultron, though, I believe you're confusing peace with quiet. People really want Lily to go to jail, apparently. I would be fine if this ends without anyone going to prison. And besides, even though I'm saying it's a federal crime, what Lily's doing, the penalty is usually not prison time. Usually it's a fine. Anyway. Copyright infringement hinges mostly on whether or not you are defaming a work in question or providing an avenue to access a work that the owner didn't sign off on, because the rights holder is entitled to control those things. Lily, no. That's not how that works. Oh my... Lily, no. That's not how that works, Lily. Oblivion Blade, thank you for the super chat. The thing I don't think Lily gets, spurious claim, is it also causes little voices to get loud. Little channels with nothing to lose love this stuff. Win all or lose nothing covering it. Yeah. I have gotten 1,000 subscribers since Lily put a copyright claim on my channel. People love drama. Even if they have no interest in my channel, they're still coming to it, and there's still discussion going around with it. But Lily, you don't understand how copyright works if you think that this is how copyright infringement with fanfiction is. This isn't, no, it's just using the characters you don't have rights to at all, period, is infringement. Transformative works like fanfiction are acceptable only because lawyers have found loopholes with fair use and specific quandaries to get this to work. Writing a bad fanfiction doesn't change anything. It's still just as legally permissible as a great fanfiction. The quality of a work has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Ashley, thank you for the super chat. Hoping this will be resolved with minimal headache. I'm hoping so too. If we stay the path we're at, it will be resolved without any headache, but it remains to be seen for sure. Crossy Hossy, thank you for the super chat. It just feels like she's trying to be awful because she thinks she can, which sucks, and sorry that this is happening to you. Yeah, she is, and it does suck, but thank you for your sympathies. I really appreciate it. Everything you say is, I find it means a lot to me. Dango, thank you for the super chat. This won't end unless you go to court. This isn't about you anymore. It's about everyone who Lily has hurt through her criminal actions. I agree. Here's the thing. The court only decides the verdict. If YouTube thinks that Lily Orchard has broken the law, her channel will suffer penalties as a result. Smash Bandicoot is a user who a few months ago did something very similar to Lily. He was trying to place these superfluous copyright strikes against channels, one after the other, and bragged about it online. He bragged about what he was doing, much like Lily has. YouTube eventually, took a little bit of time, but they did respond ultimately. And when they determined that Smash Bandicoot had broken the trust of the site, his account was deleted. At this point, I personally want Cyanide to be okay. My first priority is to make sure our channels are protected from Lily's attacks and our videos are reinstated. That is my first priority. After that, taking a shot every time you say, Lily, no, don't worry, I have water. Please use water. That sounds dangerous, Mink. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. That sounds rough. Okay. Reality is, most fan works aren't worth going after, and every company has a different policy on what they will and will not bother with. None of the arguments in favor of transformative media stopped Nintendo from striking fan games off the internet, or stopped Anne Rice from having fanfiction.net disallow fanfictions based on her work. Rice herself did so out of a fear it would damage the reputation of her works, and cooled off on it over the years when she realized that that wasn't the case, and she needn't have bothered. The dirty secret of fan art and fan fiction is that they don't really hold up under fair use in 90% of cases, and copyright holders just can't be bothered. AO3 might be stockpiling money for legal defense, but the reality is these aren't important enough for rights holders to be concerned about. Lily, so let's break this down for a second. You are mocking AO3 and the massive amount of lawyers and legal staff they've had for protections of the arts over the years. Already, that's a big red flag. 2, you are implying that the reason why Anne Rice stopped was because she gave up. Not true. Everything you said is wrong. Everything. Not a word of it was accurate. And also, this only applies to American copyrights. The Japanese doujin market is a massive selling place of fan-created works. So again, you're only talking about the American and Canadian copyright system. You're not talking about international copyright, which is just as important. Okay, we got a couple super chats here. Let me read the first one. Vestelin, thank you for the super chat. Lily legit thinks that she's the most cunning out of everyone because people hacked before haven't pushed back this hard before now. Yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She has no clue what she's talking about. She demonstrably does not understand how copyright works. She doesn't understand the history of fan fiction. She does not understand this concept. The only thing is that she exists in a bubble where no one is challenging her. But the moment someone with any legal background, any knowledge on the history of fandom, any knowledge on intellectual property rights encounters this, she's toast. Case in point right now. All right. Oh, Pokemon Ninja 92711. Thank you for the $20 super chat. That's incredible. If you can say, is her posting on Tumblr saying she's trying to get your channel taken down something that could be held against her going forward? Keep up the good fight. Rooting for you. Yes. Yes, it can. Under certain circumstances. It's not to say that this is always eternally relevant, but it is important to note. Her stating her intention is to destroy my channel and not just enforce her copyright law, or rather imply that is her intention, outright shows she's abusing the copyrights. Because she's not enforcing her copyright, she's targeting my channel. And the fact that she's joking about coordinating with other rights holders to attack my channel, many of whom have not struck my channel, by the way, I will add, is proof that she doesn't understand what she's talking about. She's conspiring publicly. Let's go down for some more super chats. Charisma Caster, thank you for the super chat. This is my issue with Lily in general. She speaks like she is an expert on every topic, but is genuinely poorly educated on somehow every single one of them. Yeah. I don't know how you make these errors. These are basic errors about rights law. This is basic stuff. This isn't complicated. I wasn't even going to talk about Lily this much in this stream, and I'm falling in this rabbit hole. She doesn't understand how fan fiction works because she doesn't understand the difference. It's not about the quality of the work. It's not even about the profitability of the work. It's about what the rights holders want to do with their intellectual property. Because here's the thing, Lily. The rights aren't simply the original work itself. It's the characters within the work and their likeness. If a person wants to enforce copyright for any reason they want, they can. That's simple. Okay, let's go back here. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Not meaning to derail, but would love a video on your take between and a discussion my brother and I had about who would win in a fight between an Eva and a Gundam. The Evangelion. I'll tell you that right now. The Evangelion would win because Evangelions are gigantic. Gundams are like 20 feet tall. Also, Gundams have mechanics. Evas are powered by a material field that prevents matter from passing through. There's just nothing that the Gundam can do. The only real exception would be the Devil Gundam from G Gundam, because Super Robot rules A, and B, it kind of is so unusual. It kind of breaks that boundary, but the average Gundam's 20 to 30 feet high, roughly. Just by size alone, they'd have a hard time against an Evangelion. The Knitting Nurse, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate your work. Heading out, but I'll rewatch later. Lily doesn't seem to understand anything about anything, and it will bite her in the ass. Yeah, it will. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you have a good rest of the day, Knitting Nurse. But yeah, she has no idea what she's talking about half the time, and this proves it. She doesn't get intellectual copyright or intellectual rights at all. If she did, she wouldn't be doing this, because this is a foolish thing to do. You're opening yourself up to so many attacks, and justified attacks too, because on your channel, on your source of income, I should say. Nothing against Lily in terms of physical harm is ever justified. I'm talking purely about strikes on her channel, strikes on her financial state, because she's gambling with her money on this one. Dango, thank you for the super chat. Have you read Bio Meat Nectar yet? No, I have not, but that sounds amazing. I love that title. Is that a manga? That sounds great. Captain Too Obscene, thank you for the super chat. Love your content. First discovered you via your Harry Potter video. Ironically, after hate watching Lily while drunk. Give her hell. I'm glad you're following along with me ever since then. The Harry Potter video is very controversial, but I'm very glad people have responded to it so positively in so many cases. Alex the Sheba, thank you for the super chat. There's something both sad and pathetic about Lily and how she thinks she can't be wrong and that everyone else is wrong. It's also really, I agree, it is sad. People are asking how I could feel any sympathy for Lily, despite all the awful things she's done, after all the terrible things that she's done. My sympathy comes in that I just kind of feel bad that she has to exist with this much hatred and anger. It can't be good to live like that. I really don't understand how she thinks that, like, you can say that and get away with it. She's too arrogant is the problem. She's surrounded by yes men. Wait, hang on. Venom's in? Hang on, is Tom Hardy in here? That's not possible. Oh, I see Venom. I see. Now I get it. I'm seeing people say Tom Hardy. I'm like, there's no way Tom Hardy's watching my stream. I do love Venom, by the way. One of my favorite characters. So your avatar, pretty cool. Pen Seal. Thank you for the super chat. I hope your channel in the long term recovers. You have good observations of a variety of topics, not just Lily being Lily. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think my channel will be fine. I do believe. I think Lily's attacking it, and she wants to destroy it, but she won't be able to, because there's just too much good here for her to do that. And I'm very, very careful with what I choose to upload in that sense. I would never upload something I knowingly know is illegal. Then again, okay, let's go around here. Poppy. I don't have anything about Poppy. I really can't have nothing to say about Poppy. I don't know the situation that well. Courtney can say her own piece. I won't speak for Courtney in that sense. Ex-wife's name again. So I checked Lily's channel, and Michaela, Lily's partner, has 15 vids compared to Lily's 164 vids. Make of that what you will. Cardi and Joker, thank you for the super chat. Considering that Kayla's been around for much less in terms of the YouTube sphere, that's saying a lot. Sabine Brown. Finally you leave a super chat, Sabine. What happened? You were so uppity. Keep crying, dork. For those who don't know, Sabine might actually just be Lily Orchard. I have no idea. I mean, probably not, but Sabine's a fan. Sabine is a fan. Yeah, no. Sabine is willing to pay Sai probably $12 at this point to keep getting on Sai's Discord to get kicked off. Hey, listen, if you want to, listen, Sabine, if you want to insult me, you're more than welcome to. Keep crying, dork. Well, we'll see who's crying sooner than later. Anyway, let's keep digging here. I don't really care about the fan service, the Antarctica anime. It's just not interesting. Okay, here we go. First comment in a while about this that Lily has allowed to get through her comment section. So, this is Lily's statement. The anonymous ask says, kind of cringe of you to attempt to delete someone's channel by copyright striking 3 of their videos before they criticized you. Any justification you come up with for this will only make you look worse. So don't even bother responding to this for your own sake. I just wanted to leave you this. Your vitriol is only turning you into your own worst enemy. And of course, Lily couldn't resist responding. Don't re-upload my videos. Make your own content. All right, Lily. All right. We'll make your own content. This isn't a video, is it, Lily? Now, that being said, of course, Lily, you did copyright strike all of me talking without your video even on, saying the whole video is your content. Make of that what you will. Dango, thank you for the super chat. If Sabine is Lily, that's digital blackface. Well, it wouldn't be the first time she's done it. Yeah, I said it. Lily, you always colored your avatars much darker than your actual skin tone. That, to me, strikes me as really weird. Also, you act like you're of native birth, and yet you advocate for the forcible removal of natives from Nova Scotia. Why is that, Lily? Who knows? Anyway, let's keep going. What do you plan to do to your other critics, and what in your mind constitutes a response, and what is worth being left alone? I'm guessing the likes of those two guys writing tips videos, Sage and Sunny, hiding in public, Ant, Poppy, etc., are annoying at points but ultimately harmless. But get nothing. While you work on real problem people like Sai, Rachel, Britt, and Courtney would get a lot. Not the best writing there, but I digress. The point is, there seems to be, even among Lily's audience, a tier list. I'm alongside HIP and those two writing guys, which I'm okay with being ranked alongside them. They're pretty cool people. Hiding in public actually is now a mutual of mine on Twitter. I thought it was kind of cool. Seems like cool. We were able to bond over both being bisexual guys, which is kind of cool, which I like. Sai, Lily perceives as a threat, and her audience perceives as a threat. However, it's Lily's argument here that I think is really noteworthy. It's not about being problem people. The two professional writers, Poppy, Ant, and the others, aren't re-uploading my videos, while they barely pay attention and make half-assed commentary. So apparently I'm not re-uploading your content. So that's what you said, right? Blue Baron, thank you for the super chat. Wish you could emulate Lily's tone like Sai does. I don't know how Sai does that. Like, that's like a really... Her voice just hits that pitch so much better than mine does. So, keep in mind, she just said, I didn't re-upload her content. The next paragraph. Those multi-hour streams of Ant just playing the Pokemon video in silence would probably count. But his 40-minute video of his crying and bitching wouldn't. So, and then she misgenders, I think DigiBro, I think? I'm not sure what the user's name is. I know that she identifies as she, her now, and I'm not gonna... Okay, well, she does, but she says she. So I think it's like an old name for this user. I'm not sure what her current username is, so I don't want to jinx it and pretend I'm saying something wrong. This isn't about going after a critic. This is about going after content theft. In the same way people had started striking the crap out of Sniper Wolf. Lily, are you genuinely trying to compare Sniper Wolf striking people to your situation? You really want to side with Sniper Wolf? Okay. I do love how she says, I don't re-upload her content, and then immediately says, I do re-upload her content. It's very funny to me. And of course, I don't know what she means by the 40-minute video of me crying and bitching. There is a 4-hour video of me criticizing your Pokemon video. That's a compilation of the streams I did. But you did only... You could be talking about my YouTube critics video, which I talk about you for like all of 5 seconds and say that you're more interesting than a lot of right-wing grifters. Is that it, Lily? Are you saying that it was bad when I gave you a compliment? Now, here's the thing, Lily. You keep going. You keep talking, which is what you always do. Let's keep reading what you said. Next, Anonymous asks, are you going to copyright strike Hiding in Private and Ant 2? For the record, I think you should. I'm just asking if you plan to. Thanks, Anon. I really appreciate that. HIP's videos qualify as fair use, since considerably less of the original footage is used. As for Ant, his reaction streams are fair game. His actual video isn't. Okay, so video. I don't think Lily knows I put her in another video. As like a afterthought, of course, but I don't think she knows that. Of course, Lily, the problem is that none of my streams actually do have your entire video in it. All my Pokemon streams only have a fraction of your original Pokemon video in it. About an hour each stream, roughly. Maybe 2 hours in the last one, which is a little longer. So... considerably less footage. What do you count as less? Percentage-wise? Or total? Because the video that Hiding in Public used for his video, it consisted primarily of clips, yes, but your video that you in question was much shorter than the Pokemon video. Do you consider a percentage the right thing? So maybe 30%? I would say use less in my video, my streams that you copyright struck than Hiding in Public used in his video. I digress. The guy, thank you for the super chat. The first thing any lawyer will tell Lily, shut the fuck up. Yeah, especially if you're spouting stuff like this, where you demonstrably do not understand copyright law. Yeah, so let's keep going. Talking about Courtney again. More Courtney. More Courtney. Courtney and Poppy. Poppy. Place for the universe. Don't dislike the terms of quantity. Abuse. Fan fiction writers. Slang, Anon, Copy, Poppy, Souls games. Also, this is just a bad take. I just want to tell everyone I read this on Size Discord, so I'll just share it right here. I'm really interested in knowing what you think of Souls-like games. I played Dark Souls 1, and it feels fine, but it would be interesting to learn other criticisms for the genre other than praises. For example, an example of a weird gripe is how the current FromSoft game has a crunch problem. I'm guessing you mean Elden Ring. Using guides is a perfectly valid playstyle according to Elden Ring's top boss, Hidetaka Miyazaki, an article name. Article name? That's a weird citation. And how it's unsustainable in how you use other media that the game is not even connected in making to boost understanding. That's a weird ask. So basically, the Anon is asking about Dark Souls, games like that. And Lily's response: I never clicked with a Souls-like game, and it's for one simple reason: Kingdom Hearts is already the good version of what those games are trying to be. Lily, do you really think Kingdom Hearts is a Dark Souls game? Kingdom Hearts, really? Kingdom Hearts. You think Lily, you think that's Souls-like. Kingdom Hearts is an action RPG, yes, and I love Kingdom Hearts. I am not going to badmouth Kingdom Hearts here, but to compare it to a Souls game, a game where the primary strategy is always roll, hide, wait, poke in the butt, run away. If you know that strategy, you can get through a Souls game, generally speaking. But how do you think that Kingdom Hearts is a Souls game, Lily? They're nothing alike. The strategy of Kingdom Hearts half the time is get on the Hydra's head, or charge into battle, or figure out an attack pattern and attack. This is like saying, oh yeah, Shadow of the Colossus, Twilight Princess, they're the same, basically. You know, they're both over the shoulder, you ride around. She's terrible. Doesn't know any of these games. Anyway, let me read a few super chats. Silverheart Soul, thank you for the super chat. She is talking about the media one, but like always, she assumes it's mostly about her and you're a hater. Yeah, exactly. Though she is talking about the media one. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Lily Orchard barely appears in my YouTube media critic video. I mentioned her briefly as an example of a left-wing critic, though, and I have issues with how I made that video, and even though the backlash to that video was pretty extreme, I do think there are some valid criticisms of it that I would probably take into account if I redid the video again. But Lily's barely in it. I mentioned her less than I mentioned Anita Sarkeesian. Her segment is 2 minutes out of a 48-minute video, and most of those 2 minutes are about comparing her to right-wing grifters. Barely even talking about her as a whole. My big issue with that video, in hindsight, is how I went too general. I would have probably not included her, because I would have needed to go into more specifics with my argument. Alex the Sheba, thank you for the super chat. I really don't like how horrible she treats her fans. I don't know why they stick around. Yeah, she bullies them constantly. She is so mean to her fans. I don't understand it. They're giving you money. There was a picture I saw on Size Discord where and mind you, I don't know where you guys find this stuff. I couldn't stomach looking through Lily's stuff that much. It just seems exhausting to me. Anyway, there's a picture of Lily responding to a Tumblr post where they made fan art of her. And Lily didn't like that the fan art was a little too thick for her. And she went on a post tangent yelling about it. Like insulting the artist, insulting all the fans, like an entitled little baby. If I ever got fan art from a fan, I would put it on I would print it out and put it on my refrigerator. That's how happy I'd be of it, like a proud parent. That stuff is amazing. And she acts so entitled. Lily playing the guy. Thank you for the super chat. Lily playing Civilization, getting a lot of Kingdom Hearts vibes from this. Yeah, Civilization. Can you imagine that? Or Crusader Kings 3. Pokemon Ninja. Thank you for the super chat again. This is incredible. You're an MVP today. Thanks for answering my earlier question. I was also wondering how you and Lily being in different countries plays in things with YouTube and any potential legal action. Well, actually, it's funny you say that because, yes, it does have an impact. And it's not good for Lily. A, international copyright law. She'd have to find a Canadian lawyer who understands American copyright law to enforce copyright on us. 2, Canadian copyright law is even less strict than it is in America, which means she has very little to go off of. In Canada, there's even more qualifiers for fair use, and the needed evidence to get into fair use is much, much less stringent. Rothic Gooby, thank you for the super chat. Mario Kart is already the good version of Celeste. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Most streamers literally post fan art on streams. Yeah, 100%. If you ever did fan art of me, for whatever reason, I would absolutely highlight it on stream. I might put it at the end of a video. I think it's incredible. I was watching Jaden Animation's 10-year retrospect, and she was even talking about how happy it made her as a young fan seeing her fan art on a video. So I fully agree with that. I think anyone who can encourage you to pursue the arts, to pursue creativity, or just an opportunity to showcase your talent, 100% I'd support that. Silverheart Soul, thank you for the super chat. Ironically, I watch some say you went too easy on her. Lol, if only they watched this. Yeah, I did get that too. There were a lot of right-wing critics of my YouTube video who were angry. The YouTube critic video, they're angry I didn't go harder on Lily. They thought I was being soft on her. Little do they know I'm in a position now where I can legally challenge her. Teddy Silver, thank you for the super chat. So excited to catch your stream. I really respect you as a critic and writer, and as I'm hoping to enter the industry myself after college. Teddy, you absolutely can, and you don't even have to wait till college is over to pursue it. If you really want to, if you have a medium, if you have a blog, start now, get a portfolio going. It'll benefit you a lot when you jump in anywhere. Especially if you want to write articles or anything like that. If you want to do YouTube, you can start whenever you can. Just get all you need is a good camera, a good mic, and you're good to go. But absolutely, anything. I think the world needs more people like you, 100%. Keep at it. You'll be amazing. It may be tough at first. You may not get everyone to follow you or watch you at first, but build. Trust me. It takes a little time, but you'll get there. Okay, so Baldur's Gate Companions. I really hate your opinions on Baldur's Gate, Lily. Genuinely, Karlach is the best, and anything you say against Karlach, I will hold against you forever. Baldur's Gate, Minsk. Okay, here we go. So, another post about this situation. Actually, 2 in a row. So, first post, Anon. Do you really think you can get a channel taken down? Lily's response. 1 strike isn't going to kill a channel. Calm down. Sign now has 2 strikes, Lily. Thanks to this. In fact, you probably issued that 2nd strike while writing this message, based purely on the timeline of events. Now, here's where I get to the point where I think that she's conspiring openly to destroy my channel. And I have seen pushback on my interpretation of the language, and I will acknowledge that. We'll get to that too. Crossy Hossie, thank you for the super chat yet again. Unrelated, but any San Diego Comic-Con reveals outside of the Marvel stuff that you're excited for? The new Mega Man and Mondo Ghostbusters figures have me hyped. Okay, let's talk about Comic-Con for a second, and we'll get back to Lily. Let's have a break. I can only do so much Lily at once. I am really excited for everything Marvel said except for Doctor Doom. I really am. I don't understand how Doctor Doom's going to work. I love Doctor Doom as a character. I love Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. I just worry it's going to be too similar. But hey, maybe it can be different. Who knows? In terms of other things I heard, the thing that got me most excited was the My Adventures with Superman artwork that was shared. I can't wait to see Connor Kent. He looks like a dork, and I love it. I'm excited for Bald Lex Luthor. Can't wait for that. Really excited to see Kara show up and do some amazing stuff. I love My Adventures with Superman. I think the show is incredible so far. There are a couple other things too I vaguely remember, but the Marvel stuff really eclipsed everything. That was what I was really paying attention to. Yeah, no. Well, is it John L. or is it Connor Kent? I'm a little confused. I think it's Connor Kent. I think because they had the sunglasses and the leather jacket, which means that Superman and Lex will have to have a kid together. Basically, can't wait for that. 20 Angry Ducks. Thank you for the super chat. Not gonna lie, I like hearing my name, LMAO. It's a fun part of the process. Love saying your names. Anywho, Lily isn't going to take you to court. She has neither the case nor the funds. Plus, she'd rather the legal system not know about her. What with her history. I agree. Lily has to realize that this can't go any further. Like, this is the end for her in terms of this ridiculous suit. Because if she goes any further, she'll have to go to court. And she can't afford it. Because it's not like a public defender. Like, if you go to court for like a crime, you can get a public defender who can defend you if you can't afford an attorney. Civil cases like this, though, are entirely arbitrary. You have to do it yourself. There is no public defender. You have to get one. And no public defender is going to take this case. Just not going to happen. Anyway. You struck 3 videos, though. Do you not know how this works? Multiple takedowns in a single day from a single rights holder doesn't get you taken down. You only get 1 strike when that happens, specifically to prevent the issue of rights holder discovering long-term copyright infringement. Oops, your channel is now completely dead. So, Lily, it's funny you say that because you put in exactly 3 videos in your initial copyright strike against Psy, and then an additional single video in a following copyright strike against Psy. But you put 5 in for me. Funny how that works. Almost like you missed your chance and have to pivot. WC Witt, thank you for the super chat. Best San Diego Comic-Con news was Ram V writing a New Gods comic and Al Ewing writing Absolute Green Lantern. DC handily won the actual comic side of Comic-Con. I'm a show. Yeah, no, DC has been winning the comic side for a little while, I think. I think a lot of their recent comics are really solid. And I think I'm excited for what DC has to come this next year or so. I'm really hyped. DC in general has just been blowing it away. I'm really hyped for what DC has next couple of years. Anyway, comics and film for that, and animation. Anyway, so let's keep going with this before I get too pissed off to finish this. You can't get a channel taken down on your own unless you space it out over multiple weeks, and even then, a strike only stays in your account for 3 months. I'm not going to, and here's where I get Lizard Fight for 2, a whoopa boppa hop. I don't know what that means. A whoopa bop bop. A whoopa bop bop. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, I feel like it's something I'm missing. I might be not be saying it correctly. Aika, thank you for the super chat. Frustrating about Lily is her abject refusal to actually engage. She needs some kind of prejudiced idea in her head to work backwards from. Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is with her. She's very, very, very self-motivated to attack. Crimson, by the way, has, as far as I know, has not been copyright struck by Lily. As far as he's told me, there hasn't been anything yet. But that's not to say it won't happen. I just know it hasn't. I just know he hasn't told me about it. Anyway, I'm not going to kill Ant by removing his theft in one day. It's impossible. I'd have to conspire with the other people he's stolen from to do that. Source: I'm a YouTuber, and dealing with copyright takedowns and content ID is part of the job. Okay, Lily. Okay, let's talk about that for a second, shall we? Let's have a chat about this. First off, saying you want to kill my channel already bit problematic. And yes, I know the response was she doesn't actually say she's going to. She's just saying how she would. Yeah, but it's still contemplating how to do it, right? Secondly, Lily, other people I stole from. Well, what do you mean by that? As far as you know, the only people I've lifted content from to respond to are people like The Critical Drinker, Literature Devil, etc. Those are the two big ones in my YouTube Critics video, which you've referenced. And Nostalgia Critic, which I've responded to in streams. Are you gonna? And Nostalgia Critic, actually, I've heard, actually knows I responded to him and doesn't care. So right there, that's one down right there, Lily. She doesn't care. What's he gonna do? Who cares? What's a guy like Doug Walker gonna do against a tiny channel responding to one of his reviews? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And he's aware that criticism against him actually promotes his channels, which is because he's actually knows a little bit about how this media thing works. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Love that her verbiage is kill. Like, it's the only way. Yeah, very violent language for discussing channels being removed. And stole, too, I might add. Charisma Caster. I still can't find your Patreon. My Discord is at Charisma Caster. So add me if you get the chance. Yeah, I'll add you after the stream. Very sorry about that, man. I'll take care of that in a second. Well, when this is done, I'll take care of that. Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion there, by the way. Oh, and Neuralities. Yeah, of course, Neuralities, who I say you should watch, and I just think deserves to get a second appraisal. Neuralities, I think, is a really undersung media critic. I think her specific language was problematic. I think her arguments don't hold up when you really scrutinize them. But I'd rather get a million more Neuralities than one Lily Orchard. I'm pretty sure Lily knows that. Now, secondary, Lily. The only people who would respond to you are people who hate trans people. But again, I figure that makes sense for you since you apparently seem to buddy up with alt-right people. So maybe it's not too much of a stretch for you to say, yeah, I'd hang out with Comicsgate guys. The more extreme Comicsgate guys, as a matter of fact. Also, Lily, anything you say to hide the fact that you want to destroy my channel is meaningless because you said, kill Ant. Yes, we know about the channel you're talking about, but you're issuing a threat in your own language. And anyone who has half a brain can see that. Or eyes. Or critical thought. Teddy Silver, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a Discord I could join? Yes, I have a Discord. Members and Patreon subscribers can gain access to the Discord as well. I'll sometimes have open join periods as well, but I did that earlier this month. I'm not going to do it a second time for a little while. If you jump on my memberships or my Patreon, you'll get access to it, and don't worry about a thing. We'll have it taken care of there. Yeah, so she's been buddying up with some alt-right people recently, which is interesting and not too surprising, including her brother apparently, who's very right-wing. Anyway. Can I ask why you never take sponsorship? So when I offered her money to do a commissioned review, she said she doesn't do sponsorships because she can't read marketing copy. Weak. The shamelessness to do it. Oh, well, as someone who's written copy for marketing, I know it's soulless, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not soulless, that's not true. Some marketing copy is brilliant. A copywriter wrote, "In space, no one can hear you scream," on the Alien poster. That's a brilliant piece of marketing collateral. It's quoted all the time. Some marketing copy is soulless, undeniably so, but some feel soulful by design. You should save these posts to your Tumblr drafts. Yeah, I have all these screenshots already. I'm not reading anything I haven't screen capped or someone else hasn't screen capped, so don't worry about a thing. Thank you for the super chat, Theora. Igwin, thank you for the super chat. Hey, sorry this is happening to you. Notified a news YouTuber about the situation, just in case you or Sai do get taken down. Sorry if this oversteps. No, it's not overstepping at all. That's perfect. Thank you so much. You have permission to talk to anyone. I've already linked Moist Critical, so anyone is good. I haven't gotten in contact with Moist Critical, but I've tagged him on Twitter enough times to probably annoy him, make him consider blocking me. The guy 493. Thank you for super chat yet again. You are an MVP as always. Lily Orchard. Why I left the left. Vid soon. Yeah. Well, I mean, is she even left wing? Like, I don't know if she's ever actually discussed any meaningful political statement. She often talks about capitalism and socialism and what have you, but she doesn't even understand what it actually entails or means. Anyway. Here's one right here. Honest question. Why do you keep getting the pronouns of your critics wrong? Because she does that a lot. She calls me a they, or a jizrag, and she calls Sai it all the time. Even though Sai is she. People joke she's an honorary they, them, but she's a she. Lily's response. I don't actually know who these people are, and I can only guess as to what their pronouns are. I don't engage with their work in the slightest. Yet you know I make a 40-minute video about me bitching and crying. I see. And the only way I know they exist is because YouTube gives me a tab of, here's what your audience is watching. I know their channel names and nothing else about them, and I haven't bothered to learn anything else. I don't actually think about these people. Yet you know what videos I've made, you want to copyright strike me, and you discuss conspiring with anyone I've ever referenced in any of my videos to destroy my channel. Seems easy enough. Was she as over the top as Eric July in the early days? Okay, well that's a whole. I just saw Eric July right there for a second there. Okay, so that's kind of nonsense, I'd say. Varric, Dragon Age, hiding a body, which is concerning given context. Satchbell. All right, let's see if Lily's blocked. All right, guys, you want to see? Let's place bets. Has Lily blocked me since the stream started? Let's find out. She has not. I am still surprised. Ooh, but we got new asks. How does it feel that one of your devotees constantly donates to both Sai and Anthony just to harass them through super chats? Oh, wow, Sabin, they're talking about you. What dumb things they do with their money is their business, and I have nothing to do with it. Oh, man, Lily, throwing Sabin under the bus like that in my own conversation? A live update. Wow, Sabin, you must be feeling rough right now. Also, I love how Lily, you know, here's the thing. No one is obligated to ever watch my stuff. But why are so many of your viewers watching my stuff? Why don't you think about that for a second, Lily? Why are so many people who watch you also watching me? And why am I getting more views than you are? Just food for thought. Maybe I'm doing something different that you're not doing. Because, quite frankly, Lily, you say that I am one of the most ranked people who your viewers have watched. Well, that's not the same for me. You're not on my ranking. So, why is it that most of your viewers are watching me when most of my viewers aren't watching you? Just food for thought. Yeah, no. So she's turned off anonymous asks. I think because of this reason. Yep. That's about what I expected. Anyway. One more thing I found, too. I'm going to play a little video for you all. And unlike Lily, I don't think this user is going to care if I play his video in entirety. Or their video? Well, anyway. So this is Snow Miserboyo. I've talked to him a little bit on Tumblr as well. he made a little response video to the whole Psy thing. I haven't actually watched this video yet, but I've been linked to it a couple times. So let's take a listen real quick. Audio on. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look real quick. This right here. Honest questions. Why do you keep getting the pronouns of your critics wrong? What we just read, actually. The quote we just read about the pronouns not watching it. Let's take a look.
You are either lying or you're stupid.
Yep. So right here, as you're pointing out, Lily admitted to have never watched anything that Psy or I have ever made, yet she is convinced that there's copyright infringement there, and I've stolen her work. Yeah, so my pronouns are right here, buddy. Actually, yeah. There we go. Good video. I recommend you support this one. They're a good one. Anyway, anywho, play this music again. So, Lily is obviously full of crap. I don't think that's too much of a shock. So, let's talk a second about this real quick, shall we? What have we come to the conclusion of? We've realized that Lily is either lying or she's lying. She's been caught in a lie. So it's either she's lying about not seeing the videos or she's lying about them being copyright infringement. Her knowing it's copyright infringement. Agwin, thank you for the super chat. Won't her saying that get the case thrown out? Yeah, 100%. 100%. It throws everything out because she said she hasn't watched the video, but she's just copyright striking it. And she said that there's no content ID on the content presented. She only knows we exist because her audience is watching us, which means she sees anyone her audience watches as a threat to her channel. Of course, the biggest threat to Lily's channel is herself, because she's issued these copyright strikes. Take a quick look to see if any updates have happened to my... Everything's still forwarded. There's been no updates as of now to the copyright strikes. Let me go back here real quick to my music. Anyway. Yeah, so this is a fun time with Lily, it seems. So to recap, Lily has thrown Sabin under the bus. Sorry, Sabin. She has admitted that she has not watched any content, yet insists there's copyright infringement in the content, apparently. And honestly, I don't think she's watched anything. She has overplayed her hand in this game. And that means only one thing. She will lose. The only thing that will be determined is how she loses. Lily, a part of me wants you to just give up now, but a part of me wonders what will happen if you actually committed a DMCA crime. Are you really going to commit a federal crime to spite your critics? Federal in America, of course, but this applies to Canada as well. You'll still have to pay a fine, either in the court of law or the civil court, if you choose to push this any further. You don't understand the law. You don't understand the concept you're describing. And thus, if you step into this field that you have no experience in, you are going to be stepping on landmines because you've overplayed your hand. You just can't do that, Lily. Your case is already over. The only thing you have left is to decide whether or not you want to lose this the hard way or lose it the easy way. But you will still lose no matter what you do. And it's sad. It really is. I didn't want it to go this way. And again, as Baichi, I see your comment in the chat. Yeah, so on Twitch, Lily is streaming, watching Korra. She's just streaming Korra while writing a script for a Korra video, presumably. Which, if her channel is removed, she'll never get to upload. Again, more reason to give up now. Simple reality is this, Lily. You're committing the same crimes, quote unquote, you're saying I'm committing. The only difference is you're doing it to a big company. And again, I think you should be able to stream Korra on Twitch. Go for it. You know, Sai streamed Utna on Twitch. It was totally fine. But I do think, though, that you're a little bit of a hypocrite for doing exactly what you're accusing other people of doing. Except I'm not doing what you're doing. I'm just commenting on it, transforming it. You're just watching it. If this does end up in the June the King documentary that he's working on, hey, June, keep up the good work. Against people like Lily. I don't like it if you attack marginalized people who are just vulnerable, but you're obviously working against people who are who are abusing their position of power and hurting people. So I respect that fully. Especially the Completionist documentary. It's quite good. As someone who watched Completionist for many years, it was very eye-opening. So you're doing good work. I don't like how some drama YouTubers just attack marginalized people who are just weird. That bothers me. I don't like that. Like, being weird isn't reason to be hurt. Like, I don't know the whole Nikado avocado thing. I don't really know that very well. I just know he's a meme. He seems like a weird dude, and I feel kind of bad for him when I see people making fun of him. But there's people I don't know. Maybe he committed like arson or something. I have no idea. But like, he seems like a very, very unwell person. There's a few people I think have gotten like criticized enough that I don't feel like ever criticizing. Even though, and I've told him this to his face, even though I don't like the most recent video that In Praise of Shadows did, I don't feel ethically good about criticizing him beyond him or his video, because I feel like he was in a very dark place when he made that, and I don't want to rub salt in the wound. And I've told him directly, I don't think that video was your best. But I don't want to I wouldn't want to make a response video to that. It just feels ethically wrong to me. Lily's fair game because I know she's ethically at fault. Someone like that who makes one video that's like problematic or messy, I don't think that's worth attacking, because it's like, you made one video that wasn't good, but you've made other videos that are great. So, anyway, I haven't seen his one about the. I just don't remember seeing the one about The Hills Have Eyes. I know that was controversial too, but I don't remember seeing it. Yeah, no, Nikado is a locale, but a lot of it's intentional for profit. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? Like, that's weird, but it's not like, I'm not having an ethical problem. Petunia Meadows, thank you for the super chat. Is that Sai's face? I love that. Walk me through what happens next. You appealed the strike. What can Lily do now? What options does she have? What options do you have? That's a great chat. Let's discuss that. There are several options Lily can do next. As of right now, and I'm only going to discuss my side of things, Sai has issued her responses, her counterclaims as well, and she can follow through with the same suit as well. In fact, we're coordinating a little bit too, so we can go back and forth on notes, basically. But what happens next is this. Lily has my response. My response contains a very articulate, very long legalese explanation as to why Lily has no ground to stand on. Now, the claimant, as Lily's referred to in the document, has two options. They can pursue further action, or they can withdraw the content strike. If Lily drops the strike, that's it. Story's over. My videos get restored and my strike's removed. She walks away. She can still argue to YouTube that it was made in error, her copyright strike, and she can get away with it. Mionion! Thank you for the super chat. The callouts almost made the Lily Orchard thing feel like a pro wrestling promo, but I guess that's what the deal was with YouTube drama. Best wishes. Thank you. No, it always feels like YouTube drama. That's the problem. It does feel like a WWE promo sometimes. It really sucks because even to get attention for the problem, you have to make a big deal of it. Like, it's really ridiculous. It's a little depressing because, like, to get any eyes on the situation, to have support, to get momentum built for your thing, you have to cry to YouTube hundreds of times on Twitter. Like, you have to tag them on everything just to get, like, some speed going with your decision. It took multiple times tagging YouTube for them to respond to our counterclaims. Anyway, so what happens now if Lily doesn't let it go? She has 10 business days to respond, and one of them's almost up. She has not issued a response yet, and if she's smart, she won't. Because if she's not smart, what she'll do is she'll put her heels in the ground and say, no, you committed copyright infringement, we're taking this further. And then we hire a lawyer. It's that simple. But now there's an added complication. I lied to you, it wasn't so simple. If Lily chooses to push this forward, she will have committed a federal crime. A false DMCA takedown notice is not just simply immoral, it is illegal, and they are financial penalties, both in the civil court and in the federal court. It is a federal crime, not just a state crime, not just a slightly against the law. It is a crime to the United States government. And even if you're Canadian, you will have to pay up, either through civil lawsuits or to the government itself. And that is what happens if she chooses to push this forward, because she will lose. She issued a content strike against media she has admitted she hasn't watched because she claims it's stealing. She does not understand copyright law. She does not understand intellectual property law in the United States. And because of that, it will backfire. And Canadian law is even less strict than the United States law, meaning she has even less of a ground to stand on in the Canadian law system where she lives. It is simply this. She does not have a leg to stand on. It is either she loses peacefully or she loses loudly. And if she loses loudly, she can lose everything. Her channel, her financial status, potentially be exposed for more crimes in Discovery. She has nothing to gain but everything to lose if she pushes this forward. Some lawyers waive fees up front and then charge out of the in-court winnings. Not many, but given how clear this case is, it's definitely possible for Ant or others to find a lawyer who would do it. Yeah, entirely. Because the winnings are guaranteed. It's a very clear-cut case. But even if that's not the case, we can still afford a lawyer. I'm not worried about that. I can pay up a higher lawyer. I won't want to, but I could. Fair dealings is Canadian. Okay, thank you for the clarification there. Here's the thing. This is clear cut. There is no ambiguity here. The H3H3 suit from 2016, this is a textbook case of that. And the thing is, she has no ground to stand on. I want it to end quietly. I don't want to drag this out for months. I really don't. But I will, if it takes it. I really don't want to get rid of Lily Orchard's channel. But if that's what it takes, I will. The ball is entirely in her court. She can either give up now or lose. And giving up will be the better option, the mature option. The option where she loses much less. Give up with Sai and me. Withdraw your strikes now, and you won't have to take this to court. I know chat wants this to get worse. I want it to end peacefully. I want it to end quickly so I can move on to doing what I enjoy, and that is making content. I really don't want to talk about this controversy for weeks and weeks on end. I can think of 100 of the things I have planned for the rest of this year that I want to do, that are exciting and cool. Hell, this week we're talking about Spider-Man. Next week, I have a video essay about Disney, the company. And I've commissioned Sai to do a thumbnail for it. That's exciting. That's cool. It's fun. And trust me, these topics are good. It's not just, I'm going to say Spider-Man's great or anything like that. No. These are topics. I'd rather talk about those projects. I don't want to talk about Lily Orchard for, ever. I barely want to talk about her now. The problem is, she's making it impossible to talk about anything else. And this ends in one way for Lily if she keeps going. The total elimination of her channel. Not just simply, oh, I'm banned off YouTube. I mean, it's gone. Period. And she does not have the momentum on social media to rebuild a second channel that quickly. That would be it. There would be nothing left for her. If she wants to gamble that over a couple of streams about Pokemon, go for it. Lose everything. I think you'll blink first. And if you have any doubts that I will take it to the court of law, you don't know many New Jerseyans, do you? We do not bullshit. We say plainly what we are going to do, and then do it. This is an appeal to any common sense you might have, if any of your followers are still watching. There is no scenario at this point in time where you will win. I have called your bluff. You have no legal ground. I have showcased every single piece of evidence I need to a court to win. The only thing you have left to do is decide how you want to lose. Again, call Outlander in the background, and Jamie is Bae. Baichi, thank you for that lovely super chat. I love that. And yeah, Jamie is Bae. Actually, it's funny about that book set. That's actually my grandmother-in-law was getting rid of books. And what she did was she had that, and she had a bunch of Harlequin romance novels from I thought they must have been old and they really were, but it's from 2022. So my grandmother-in-law in her 90s, she's reading Harlequin romance novels that she was just picking up for eating and tossing over. And some of them were spicy, I'll say that right now. I was a little surprised by how spicy they were. Oh, yeah. Baichi, don't mess with someone from New York, only rule my New York. Don't mess with someone from Jersey, only rule my New York friend told me. Yeah, New Jersey doesn't fuck around. Teddy, will I cover other Pokemon things? Of course I will. I've had a few video essays for Pokemon I've wanted to do for a while. I want to do that still, and I want to do a Nuzlocke challenge at some point on stream. That'd be pretty fun. I think that'd be really cool. Dango. And I keep saying this because I dealt with people like this. Lily Orchard will never let this go unless you use overwhelming force to end it. Well then, we'll use overwhelming force. I do not want to take this to court. But if I have to, I will. It's that simple. I don't have to like it. I just have to do it. And I will. I'm not going to brag about doing it. I'm not going to snark about doing it. I will just do it. I'll let the lawyers handle it myself. Sorry, I'll let the lawyers handle it themselves. Because the simple fact is this. Lily, the problem is you could have done something that was more effective than this. But you didn't. And now, you'll have to do what you have to do. The problem is you cut yourself off from options that would have saved your channel and yourself from further penalties. But you didn't. And that would be that. The guy, thank you for the super chat. Odds of Lily pulling a Dobson and just vanishing. That's possible. I think she's too loud to stop, though. She'll more likely fizzle out. If she chooses to not use reason. The simple fact is this, Lily. You can end this peacefully. It's your choice. It's entirely your choice, but do not expect me to back down from being... Do not expect me to be bullied. I'm not someone on Tumblr who can just be talked down to. It's not that simple with me. And unfortunately for you, you have worn through my patience. You are loud. Do not know when to stop talking. And that is your fault. I'm loud too. I get that. But there's a time for talk and there's a time for action, and I will take action if you continue to push this. And that is that. That's simple. Don't have to like it. I won't enjoy a second of it. But that's what it takes. Anyway, on that note. Yeah. There's a smart way of ending this, Nick. The part that the path of least resistance is the best option. Just don't respond to the copyright takebacks. Better yet, withdraw it from side too. Corins, thank you for a well-needed super chat. There's nothing to Lily Orchard. Off topic, but if you ask me, Andor is everything that Star Wars should be. Intelligent, gripping, beautifully produced, and genuinely impactful. Yeah, and well acted, too, I might add. I think Andor is brilliant. Andor is great science fiction, period. It is such good sci-fi. I love Andor so much. And the more Andor stuff we can get, the better. I can't wait for season 2. Yeah, and I think the Acolyte was pretty solid, but I do wish... I have issues with the Acolyte. I liked it overall, but I felt like the dialogue was a little stiff. I thought some of the sets were a little wonky. I felt like it took a little while to build up. The back half of the Acolyte was much stronger than the first half. I think the weakest episode of The Acolyte was the first episode, quite frankly. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of people say I have a villain monologue. I don't know about that. I was being earnest. I was just saying what I felt. Which is simply this. I like to think of myself as a good guy. But if you push me too far, I will see things to the end. That's it. Well, I enjoyed Andor. I think it's overhyped. Well, that's okay. You know, you allowed your opinion. I think it's wrong. I'm kidding. You're entitled to your opinion. I thought Andor was great. I especially love, anything that has the scene like with what's his name? Gollum. Andy Serkis. His character where he has that big speech to the whole jail. Just the way it's shot is so... And the final speech with... about the words that the dead speak to the living. It's so powerful and impactful. I think it's incredible. Anthony, do you have any thoughts on recent successes with YouTube animation like Lackadaisy? I love Lackadaisy. I can watch that one. I think Lackadaisy is incredible. They're all beautiful. I think indie animation is an incredible medium, and I love all the levels of brilliant stuff we're getting from there. Absolutely incredible stuff. Bubble Ross, thank you for the super chat. Bro's monologuing like he's gonna black flash Lily. No, it's not a monologue. I was no one to bounce off of, so my thoughts just come out, spur of the moment. But no, it's not that much of a monologue. I don't think I was monologuing that much. Meonion, thank you for the super chat. On the opposite end, thoughts on Staricide Squad 31 featuring Michelle Yao. It looks not good. I don't know what Staricide Squad 31 is. I feel like I should, though, but I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's all right. I'm sure it's not great. Charlie Chaplin's speech in The Dictator trumps both of them. Yeah, of course. Charlie Chaplin's speech in the Great Dictator or whatever. That movie's incredible. Like the one where he's like standing up. That's an incredible speech. One of the all-time great speeches. Smash that like button on Ant's stream if you see this. Okay, smash that like button. The Cambrini the Bidoof demands it. I love that avatar Bidoof, by the way. Bidoof's my favorite Pokemon. Final season, the first lower decks is in October. I'm excited. I'm excited. Do you ever look at analog horror or ARGs by chance? Yeah, I love ARGs and analog horror. I always have. Analog horror. I love horror in general. Horror is a big thing. All of October, I'm going to talk about horror movies. You're going to be sick of it by the time I'm done with it. Lilia Venitas, thank you for the super chat. Also, off topic and piggybacking from Disney Productions, Deadpool and Wolverine. Sorry, from Disney Productions, Deadpool and Wolverine is also really good and shows how making a passion project brings in the money. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Deadpool and Wolverine is incredible. I thought it was a beautiful love letter to superhero films in the 2000s. I thought it was a great tribute to these two iconic characters. And on top of that, it's a good movie. Just a good story. I love Deadpool, and I loved Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, I was worried when they brought him back, they're going to be like, oh, Logan, it's being taken. No, brilliant performance. Just that scene in the car where he just tears into Deadpool, not physically, like verbally. Some of the best acting from Hugh Jackman I've seen ever. Oh my god, it made you feel so bad for Deadpool. Like, the stuff he says is so compelling and brilliant. WC Witt, did you manage to catch the leaked Fantastic Four test footage from San Diego Comic-Con? Yes, I did. I am so happy they're turning Mr. Fantastic into Bill Nye. I think it's a great decision. Just the sciencey, mad sciencey stuff, like him being the Fantastic Science and Mr. Fantastic. Brilliant. I love it. It's incredible. Danny Gayer, thank you for the super chat. We must treat Lily like a Final Fantasy XIV boss. Gather a stack of lawyers. Lily Orchard. Ultimate raid. Yeah, I love that. I agree with that. 100%. Hey, listen. Anything like this, you got to go all in. You can't miss. You cannot miss. If you're going to do something like this, you can't miss. Because if you miss, that's it. It's like chess. You do not make a move until you've lined up every piece in place. And if you don't, chess is all about eliminating the options for an opponent, leaving them with only a couple choices left. And every path leads to checkmate. I like playing chess. It's a good game. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Crossover video with Wendigoon on Analog Horror when? Probably never. I'm not a Wendigoon fan. I'll be honest with you. Not that I don't like Wendigoon. I think he's fine. I could never get into his style of video essay work. I think he's a little too folksy for me. Like his style of speech is a little folksy, and I'm way more Jersey. So I don't think I could like. I don't think I'd be a good match for his style, and also he's a massive YouTuber, and I could never do it. I don't think I would feel intimidated. It wouldn't work. He's done some good stuff though. I think his work on the what was it a while back? I was hearing about his Dante Inferno video. I think Sai was talking to me about that. It sounded like a good video. I just haven't watched it because I love Dante's Inferno. I think it's a great piece of literature. Dante's Purgatory and Paradiso as well. The Divine Comedy is incredible, but like I think anyone who talks about classical literature like the Inferno, I think is really good. And apparently, he analyzed it from the historical lens as well, which is pretty good. Most people just look at it, oh, it's hell, oh, scary, but they don't really talk about the implications because Dante was a satirist first and foremost, and a fan fiction writer. Dante's Inferno is Bible fan fiction. You can't convince me otherwise. Dude, 15 hours into Final Fantasy XIV. That game has so much stuff in it. I'm glad she quit. I'd hate being a raid with her. Yeah, I don't think Lily would be good in a raid. I think I have like 40 hours, 50 hours in 14. I stopped because I just wasn't really. MMORPGs don't hold me. I have a hard time with MMORPGs. They can't hold me. Not because the games are bad. They're incredible games, but I just kind of get like a little like lost in them, a little bored of them at a certain point. So I just kind of stopped. I'm gonna be right back. I have to use the bathroom, but when I return, hopefully, we'll be up for a little bit longer. I'll be right back. Just real quick, gonna put the waiting screen on. I'll be right back, guys. Don't worry about a thing. Okay, I have returned. Very sorry for the delay there. Let me get this back up. Now there we go. Cool, awesome. Sorry about that. Had to use the bathroom at a certain point. All right, chat is so based in hydration build. Yeah, no. I dehydrate quite easily, so I always want to make sure I get enough water in me. That's the other thing too. I was just thinking about this while I was on in the lavatory. Lily's streams are kind of boring. You ever noticed that? So, Lily's stream, she was script writing for her Quora video that she's working on. And again, I think it's odd that she wants to jump on Quora because it's just not a relevant property right now. Like Has Been Hotel, that makes sense. That's a hot property. And look, I do stuff, but not really big properties all the time. But I do it because I'm passionate about certain niche topics, and I don't think she's doing it. I think she's doing it cynically. They're just sort of her sitting there, just like. Let me see if I can get a clip of it actually, so I can demonstrate what I'm talking about. One sec. Let me go through my history real quick. Because I found it's all the YouTube music I listen to right now for this video. One sec. I clicked on it yesterday because someone. Here we go. Okay, so for context, this is essentially a clip someone made of her stream that she did yesterday. Now, it's not uploaded on YouTube. This might be the first time you see this content. This was done on Size Discord. Someone posted this. Now, this is Lily's response. Let me close off this music. This is Lily's response to my videos being taken down. take a look at the style in which she and there's zooming in from the capturing question, but this is just how she runs her streams. And I'm not saying my streams are perfect, they're not, but for comparison, let's take a look.
The last three villains, I've generally three villains. I've made the point of saying that Korra's desire to have that Bryke's belief that they need to have a villain has actively hamstrung most of their stories, most of the stories in Korra. All of them are about things.
I don't know about you. That strikes me as kind of boring. Quite honestly. Like, it just strikes me as a little boring. Like, she's just sort of like typing, and she's reading what she types as she types it. Here's again. I just raised the volume a little bit. Let's see if she says anything. But it is soft even at max volume.
And the video got taken down. Well, I didn't take down the one that people were actually watching. You know, the one that was like a fucking... That was a supercut of the streams, because that one's under fair use.
I guess they paused it. Did they pause it? I don't know. They paused it. Oh, sorry.
No, that one's still up. It's his reaction streams where he mostly just plays the entire video, the video in its entirety that are down.
Lily, it's funny you say that because only 2 of the 5 videos you took down have an entire video in them, and we talk over your video, so you can't even hear the whole. You can't even hear what you're putting there initially. Anyway, so yeah, so that's her response to me, her finding out my videos were taken down. So.
How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Better served without the need to make
I'm sorry, this is just really boring. Even watching her respond to my videos being taken down is just boring. Like, she doesn't have a screen presence. And yes, my videos are fair use, even the ones she took down. I will fight that in court. But the point of the matter is that she commits she commits 2 cardinal sins so far. One is the copyright strike thing. That's like even the right wing people I've faced don't do that. The other thing is she is not interesting on stream. Like, she's just sitting there. She's not really engaging with her audience. She's not excited to talk to anyone. She's just sitting there typing. I don't stream myself writing my scripts because it would be boring for you to watch. Like, I don't want to make you watch me write my scripts. Where's the fun in that? It's not engaging. It's not interesting. It's just go type with. And also, what's with that word processor? It's like a weird. It's like a matrix font. That would give me such bad eye strain. Like, I got bad eye strain just doing anything. Like, I have eye strain right now even. And yeah, part of it's post-COVID. I don't want to. I feel like cruddy from that. But like, how I did 2 video essays while having COVID, I have no idea. And a stream. But what are you gonna do? Like, she's very slow paced, which is fine. You can be slow paced. But like, Courtney has screen presence. Sai has screen presence. Krim has screen presence. I don't do anything unless I think it'll be interesting to you guys. At all. I don't act unless it's something I think could be fun to watch. That's just my way. I don't want to bore people, you know? That's my big thing. I don't want to if I ever bore my audience, I failed. And like, you don't have to be loud, you don't have to be obnoxious. And that goes on for 5 hours. Like, my streams, I like to keep them close to 3, 3.5, 4 at most. Sometimes 2. I'll end the stream at 2 hours sometimes because I feel like I don't have enough to say that night or I'm tired. But I don't go any further than what I do. The only Twitch streamer I follow has a rule of and this is Baichi, if he makes sure the chat, even if it's slow. Just pick a topic and go. Yeah, 100%. I don't necessarily have an issue. It's just body double stream to BH. Yeah, that's fair. What does nihilism have to do with the point? That's what we're talking about. How, right? Being a nihilist? I don't even know what that... I don't think she knows what nihilism really is. It's like a lot of people don't know what postmodern means, right? People say postmodern all the time, but they have no idea what actual postmodernism is. The referential nature of life looking at itself. Also, I want to point out something right now, Lily. If you do have a troll watching, if Sabin comes back to report for me. They are... You talk about loving these slice of life shows. Well, why don't you ever watch an actual good anime? Right? In fact, I have a few... Let me go to Mal real fast, my anime list. Okay, here we go. Let me bring this up over here. You can't see my screen right now, but here we go. Behold Mal. It's a whole mess. But here's an anime, Lily, I think you might love. It's called Azumanga Daioh. Azumanga Daioh is a great work of fiction. I love Azumanga Daioh, okay? I have Azumanga Daioh right here. The whole manga right here, as a matter of fact, because I love this series so much. Here's the thing. I know you turned down my Evangelion challenge, and I'm not going to give you money this time, but for your own sake of mind, when your YouTube channel is deleted because you broke federal law, you should really get into reading Azumanga Daioh. It's a great little series. There's so many great characters in this. I, for one, have always loved Yukari, the teacher in it. I just kind of relate to that kind of character, the burned out adult who's like struggling with something. I love Azumanga Daioh. And there's a pretty fun queer rep in here too, if you want to get to that. But let's say you don't want to read Azumanga Daioh for some reason. Well, she would not read Ranma 1/2. It's too sexual for her. She won't handle it. She hates anything with fan service, apparently, except when it has fan service, like the Antarctica anime. But if you don't like Azumanga Daioh, you could watch this wonderful series called Nichijou, which is incredible. I love Nichijou so much. Nichijou is just this great little hyperactive, wild, chaotic gremlin of a series. You ever want to see a balding principal suplex a deer? There's so much joy in every cell of animation. Oh, I love the series so much. And yeah, Lily, I know you hate being recommended stuff. That's why I'm doing it. Just to piss you off. Have you seen Madoka Magica? I watched Madoka when it came out. I was watching it week to week when it was still airing. Even when the tsunami came and the last episode or two were delayed. Yeah, Azumanga Daioh and Nichijou at S tier. S+. Easy. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Cousin Ted? Cousin Ted. Oh, there we go. Cousin Ted. Ranma is too much gender envy. Yeah, Nanke, I agree with you there. A lot of people... Ranma's a great series, first and foremost. I'll tell you this. I'm mutuals online with Lady Emily, the YouTuber, and she keeps talking about Gundam, and that makes me want to go back and watch Gundam again. I know she's working on a Gundam thing. I may want to rewatch Gundam just because of that. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. I should try to rewatch Azumanga Daioh. I didn't enjoy it as a teen, but have you seen a show called Kimi ni Todoki? It's a nice romance. I feel like I have. Let me just look up the visual for that. Kimi ni Todoki. I feel like I've either seen it or I've seen bits of it. Is that the one with... Which one's this? Oh, yeah. I've seen like screen grabs of this. I've never seen the whole thing. When was there? 2009. Okay. No, I've seen clips of it and like shots of it. I've never watched the whole thing. This looks cute. Oh, it's on Crunchyroll. That's probably why. I probably flipped on the Crunchyroll channel app and saw bits and pieces of it. The guy, Lily should watch G Gundam. Can you imagine? Can you imagine her watching G Gundam? Oh, that would be great. I love G Gundam. G Gundam is my favorite Gundam. I love G Gundam. It's a new Madoka movie coming out soon. I'd love to see your thoughts on Rebellion and Madoka as a whole if you ever want to do that. Yeah, I might do Madoka video. That'd be fun. I really like Madoka. I think it's a great Faustian adaptation. I didn't like the second series they did, though. I wrote some CBR articles when I was still writing for them back in the day, but I think it was pretty good. People are saying to watch Kimi Nidoke. Natidoke. There we go. Words. Wow, I cannot speak today. Last one. Neon, thank you for the super chat. Last one coming from me. Any chance of covering Jinro? Oh. Yeah, there's always a chance of that. That's a good one. Jinro and the Wolf Brigade. That's a good one. Yeah, I'd cover that one. And they had a good live-action movie, too, which wasn't like Jinro. It was like another name for... It was the same universe, but a different name. I love Jinro. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, Jinro I'll cover. And there's always a chance of me doing Ghost in the Shell. Madeline, thank you for the super chat. FWIW, I really recommend the original Gundam 0079 and just watch the Western release order Hearts. Well, here's the thing. For me, Gundam would be a rewatch. I have seen the original trilogy of movies, and I've seen some of the original series as well. Zeta Gundam I've watched. I've seen Turner Gundam. I've seen War in the Pocket. I've seen Gundam, G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed. I have a Gundam Seed shirt, actually. I got in like an anime con, like a grab bag thing. There's some good ones. Have you seen Bokurano? It's in my top 3. I've actually not seen Bokurano. I know it's on my list, but I have not actually watched it. Which I know is wild. Some expert I turn out to be, right? I have seen a lot, though. But in a lot of shows I've watched years... You gotta keep in mind, at a certain point, you've watched so many things that you forget you've seen it until you start watching it again. But that was a good... I remember, Bokurano. What's the other one? That's like... It sounds like Bokurano. Wait, Bokurano. Is that the one about the... That's not the one with the Universal Tournament where they each... Are like in a giant robot and each of their universes dies, right? Bokurano. Wait. Hang on. I think I have seen it. Is that the one... It's done by the same guy who did, I think, Serial Experiments Lane? Is that it? Where, like, each... It's like really depressing. Each universe has, like, a representative who fights and they fight each other, and then when they lose, their universe dies. It's kind of like the plot of the last season of Dragon Ball Super, I know, but... Is that it? That might be Bokurano. What am I thinking of initially, then? Hang on. Maybe I'll check this. Have watched Kamen Rider Game. Fear Yun, thank you for super chat, but no. Yes, I have seen Bokurano. Okay, I have seen this. This I have seen. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. It's like a weird multiversal thing, and their universe dies if they lose. Right? Okay, cool. Excellent. I have seen this one. This was depressing. That one bummed me out a lot. This and, was it Saikano? Saikano, I think, was the... Bakano. I'm thinking of Bakano. That's the one I haven't seen. Yeah, Bakano I have not seen. That one, I hear is excellent. Just haven't watched it. Pat Labor, Bubblegum Crisis. I've seen both of those. Those are both fantastic. The guy, great taste in shows. I was mixing Bokurano with Bakano. I have not seen Bakano, which I know is like a cardinal sin. How do you feel about Konosuba? I love Konosuba. Konosuba's great. I freaking adore Konosuba. Don't think it has the same creator as Lane. It does have the same creator as Narutaru. Yeah, Narutaru, that's another one I might cover in some point, like comparing it to Pokemon or like Digimon. I feel like Narutaru has kind of fizzled out in terms of relevancy, but like I thought it was great. Dark though. Space Runaway Ideon, I have seen that. I watched Ideon because of the ties with Evangelion. I love Eva, and I had to watch anything Eva related when I was in like high school, and I dug up Ideon on like a YouTube channel. Bokurano is depressing. Yeah, it is depressing. Bokurano is a bleak show. Have I seen Breakblade? No, I've not seen Breakblade. What would I rate Bokurano? Probably a 7 or 8 out of 10, I think. I think it was really good, but I wouldn't want to rewatch it because it's just too depressing. Maybe I might rewatch it, though. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. My top 3. Martian successor Nadesco. Nadesco. That's one I haven't seen in years. Cardcaptor Sakura and Sailor Moon. Great taste. Nadesico, I think, is like really underrated today. Like I remember back in the 90s, everyone talked about it, but it's like fallen out of popularity. But if you haven't seen that one, it's a great 90s space opera mech series. I think it's incredible. Have I seen Freyrin? Yes, I have seen Freyrin. I've written about Freyrin. I've made multiple videos talking about Freyrin back when I first started. I could do another one, though. Dirty Pair, fantastic. Just be honest, I'd love to see you do a video about either Zumanga or Nichijou. There's aren't enough video essays about either of them. Yeah, I would do a video on Nichijou. But I'd have to find a topic. I'd have to find a good thesis to do one. They kind of tanked the plan for this. They tanked the Nadesico. I mean, I don't think they really did anything that I know of after the first film and some bits of Robot Wars. But have I seen Fruits Basket? Yeah. When that was still coming out with Tokyo Pop, I was reading the manga for Fruits Basket. I love Fruits Basket. I think it's an incredible series. Absolutely beautiful. Furion, Fiery One, thank you for the super chat. No, you should watch Kamen Rider Game. Same writer as Madoka. It's fun Fruit Samurai Toku. Okay, I'll give it a shot. I actually have never really watched any Kamen Rider, so I feel like that's one of my big blind spots as a fan. Mononoke from 2007, not to be confused with Prince Mononoke, is great. Yeah, agreed. Boku no Pico is an acquired taste. Certainly is. What kind of taste we're talking about here? The illegal kind. Oh, Courtney's on here? Where's Courtney? Courtney P. Oh, hey, Courtney. Hola, glad to see you got your head up about my sister's nonsense, my dude. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate it. And you're pretty... Courtney's good people. I've liked talking to Courtney. By the way, I looked up the fan artist you sent. Some good art there. Have you watched Gao Gaigar? I have not watched Gao Gaigar, but I have played Super Robot Wars, where Guy Gaigar is a reoccurring thing, and I love that. After the hate watch, time for joy watch. You deserve it. Yeah, listen. The rest of the stream is going to be me gushing about things I like, all right? I've earned it. I think I'm entitled to a little bit of fun. Okay, so another show that Lily will never watch because she has no taste in anime, that she should watch because it is a great series, and it's not Evangelion. I won't pester you about that, or Utena, because you've clearly never seen this by talking about it so much. Here's another old anime I love. Old school anime. That some of you guys might know. Some might not. Who's seen this? Who has seen Excel Saga? I love this ridiculousness. Octo Ari, thank you for the super chat. Low key, I want to see you do a video on Ginga Nagaraboshi Jin and a sequel, Ginga Nadista Weed. They're super unknown and niche. I think you'll enjoy it. I have never seen either of those. Let me do some research before agreeing to do a video essay on it, though. Because, like, for all I know, those could be hentai. I have no idea. But it'll sound cool. I'm glad. I'm always up for obscure shows that aren't watched. Lily should watch Bible Black. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah, Excel Saga is great. And look, here's the thing I find so funny. People always think I'm like some like prudish, like restrictive person. I love crazy zany stuff. Like, Excel Saga is nuts. It is so out of its mind bonkers. And some of the reoccurring gags just would not sell today at all. But it's so much fun. Always saying the end theme of Excel Saga. Yeah, no, you know what the thing was? Back in the day, we used to have libraries that we'd go to all the time because we couldn't, you couldn't just put out $40 for an anime box set if you ever seen a show for it. So my library had all of Excel Saga, and I'd watch it like repeatedly, and just a freaking great series. I love this, and I love. I know my audience is mixed on the dub versus sub thing. I'm not gonna get into that specifically, but I love how the little trivia fact always is about Excel Saga's voice actress is that she, her performance kind of in the English dub, it really hurt her throat, and she had to be replaced halfway through. And I always noticed that. It was always just a noteworthy. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Theora, thank you for the super chat. Watch Heybot. It's like 2010's Bobobo. Bobobo. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Bobobo is so strange. It's such a strange. How do we watch all that? Octo Ari, promise they aren't hentai, but dog anime. Is that the dog? Is that the dog isekai anime? Is that the one where you're reborn as a dog? Favorite Digimon? The lion one who dies in every season. In before Lily calls me Hitler. Okay, thank you, Evan Henderson, for the super chat. Yeah, there we go. Anyone here scams Wish? Not the best anime. Wish, is that the Clamp one? Okay, what are you guys' opinions on Clamp? I like Clamp in general. I think Clamp has some really good shows. Manga, I should say. Dire Wolf, what are you saying there? If Lily saw Fruits Basket, she despised Kyo. How much do you want to bet? Another series I love is Leomon. There we go. Thank you. Leomon. That's my favorite. Love Leomon. Yeah, she would hate Kyo, which I wouldn't be surprised by because Kyo's my favorite. Actually, my favorite is Hattori. Is that his name? The one with the bangs over his eyes. And not just because my hair is overgrown, I like that, but I always felt like, as a kid, okay, so first and foremost, even though I know the Fruits Basket anime isn't as good as the manga, and the new anime is much better, the original anime, I mean to say, I do love the music from that anime. It's like such sweet dream fuel for me. But, listen, you make fun of my pronunciation. I can't pronounce shit, all right? Even things I know I can't pronounce. This is a reoccurring trend. Do you know how many my real life friends gave me shit for when I mentioned what were their names? The rat people from Warhammer. I mangled the pronunciation of that, and my friends in real life gave me so much shit for that. And they're right; they're justified, but still. C-Nymph, thank you for the super chat. Ginga Nagariboshi Jin is about dogs fighting bears. While I enjoyed it growing up, it's riddled with sexism, and the manga's even worse. Okay, well that means it might be worth looking into then. I think older works with flaws are worth reevaluating, just for the sake of it. Are you watching any of the new anime airing right now? Yes. I'm currently watching one show right now, only because July's been chaotic and I haven't had time to sit down and watch too much outside of what I was already watching beforehand. But yeah, there's one show I'm watching. I feel like I will be exposing myself in 4K if I tell you which show it is. But there is one show I'm watching. Because anyway, I want to like Clamp. This is set 666 Abonné. Pretty hard to do when they present a student-teacher romance as legitimate. Yeah, that's a fair point. Cardcaptor Sakura has its flaws. I always have issue with the teacher-student romance. I've heard people make arguments for it as to why it's actually compelling media. And that's fair. Scavin. They're the Scavin, right? You call them Scavin. I call them the Scavine. I said there was a Scavine from Warhammer. But they're Scavin. And all my friends would bust my chops about it. But, I don't know. I've only read the word. I've never heard someone say the word out loud. So, are you watching the Elf Workout Show? Maybe I am, okay? Maybe I am. It's elves, all right? I love that. Fantasy creatures, love that stuff. And character designs are different. I love that stuff. Charla Ninja, thank you for the super chat. Lily's take on shiny Pokemon just drained me. Yeah, and Twitter had a field day with it, too. That went on Twitter, people's reactions to Lily's... Get some music on the background here. I'm going to play that real quick. Lily's take on shiny Pokemon was bad. So bad, Twitter responded to it. So that's something. Evan Henderson, final one. Did you watch Beastars or No Furry? I saw Beastars. That was pretty good. Listen, I don't care if a thing's a furry art or not. I'm not a furry personally, but good art is good art. Good media is good media. I don't care what type of genre, what type of quirks it might have. If the media is fun and engaging, it's fun and engaging. Yeah, Skaven. The Skaven. I know about the Skaven. I know their lore and all that. I just don't... I don't play Warhammer, first off. I just know the lore through, like, books and stuff like that. But, Skaven. Oh, there's Skaven. Okay, Skaven. Sorry. Even my joke, correcting my own pronunciation, I can't do it right. Something like Skaveen, though. So, I'm way off originally. Yeah, no. Music sounds so mystical. Yeah, well, just my generic... All this is just generic stuff on the creator music side of things. It's all music I've licensed to from videos. I only use free music from YouTube because I don't want to pay licensing fees. Luna Aeon, you've never heard of Bobo Bobo? You've never heard of Bobo Bobo? Bobo Bobo Bobo. I think that's how you spell it, right? Weird arrangement of bobos. Bobo Bobo. Bobo Bobo is an anime about an anti-hair fascist state, and the lone afro-wearing, nose-hair wielding savior defending us from these hair-shaving tyrants. Luvix the Great, thank you for the super chat. Or Louveau the Great? I'm not sure if it's a French thing or not. If you like Gen Urobuchi, Madoka Magica's writer, you should check out Thunderbolt Fantasy. It's not an anime, but a puppet show, and hype as fuck. Some of the Japanese puppets are, like, incredible. Like, they go with some epic stuff. I've actually always been a little intimidated because I don't know where to start with those. Thunderbolt Fantasy, I'll take a look at it. Because I always get a little intimidated on where to start with, like, the puppet stuff from Japan. There's some incredible stuff there. Thunderbolt mention, Fantasy mention, I love that show so much. Okay, it's getting some feedback. People like it. Wait, what's Courtney saying about a reverse harem? Legoshi. Legoshi, my love. Yeah, okay. There you go, Courtney. There's your furry stuff for you. Look, Beast Choice is good. I actually didn't finish the last season of it, or the most recent season of it, but I really dug it. You can like animal art without being called furry. Yeah, it's just good art. Look, listen, and also this too. During the pandemic, one of the chemists who was working on the COVID vaccine would give all these big updates. It was always like, you know, the mitosis of the virus is mutating, yada, yada, yada. And it happened to be a furry. So you get these like big updates about COVID, and, you know, grim and like be really, really serious. And meanwhile, it's like a dog persona with like white fur with the tongue dangling out. And it's like, such mixed signals. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Not anime, but have you seen Warehouse 13? Oh, that's bringing me back to old school sci-fi. Yeah, I've seen Warehouse 13 and The Librarian, which for some reason I always connect in my brain. Warehouse 13, The Librarian, they were on Sci-Fi Channel, I think, at the same time. I always remember watching those, like, all the time. That was some good stuff. Turn into music, it's too loud. Okay, gotcha. How's that sound? A little better? Actually, let me adjust a little bit. There we go. That should be a little better. There we go. Just more background noise. There we go. Anyway, what's your favorite Gen 9 Pokemon? New and a big fan. Gen 9. That's the problem. None of them are particularly... I didn't love any of Gen 9, really. Let's get all of Gen 9 up. So you just take a look. Let me just do it the old-fashioned way. Let me just see everyone at once. Because unlike earlier gens, I always have a trouble remembering who's who with Gen 9. That's my problem. All right, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's get them all, the whole Pokedex out. Oh yeah, I forgot they had the ignoring the starters because this weed cat is always my favorite. I always love the grass starters, and I love this weed cat. Fuenko is pretty cool. Fukoko is really good. You have the Elvis duck. Okay, so ignoring the starters who are always really solid. Lechonk, love Lechonk. Pony, okay. A lot of these are just kind of like okay, whatever. I know it's like a family of Pokemon, whatever. Fido, Dash Bun. Okay, it's kind of cute. But none of these are like... None of these have gotten me yet. Like, aside from the starters. Yeah, it's Weed Cat. It's just the Weed Cat. It's just the Stoner Cat. I'm sorry. Like a lot of these are just okay. I'm not in love with any of them. Glamour is alright. This one's pretty cool. Graveard and Houndstone. I like that. Ghost Dog. I'm always cool with that. Another Giraffe Rig knockoff. That's just Dunsparce. That's just Dunsparce. Oh, it's just Evolution. Yeah, that's right. Dunsparce, which looks just like Dunsparce. Great Tusk. Okay, that's cool. Wait, is it evolved form or is it an alternate form? I forget that. Yep, just level up while knowing something. Okay, yeah. Mischievous Delibird. Okay, that's all right. Iron Moth. Okay. Yeah. Again, okay, I do like some of the alternate forms. I do like that. That's kind of cool, but I don't love them. Not in love with them. Yeah, I might go with Weed Cat. Yeah, I might go with Weed Cat. Weed Cat's my favorite. I mean, Gen 9 I have like the least strong feelings about. My spouse plays it all the time, but I'm like not. I just don't feel strongly about anything for Gen 9. You've never heard of Bobo? Bobo's great. Bobo's like ridiculous. It's really dumb. It was in Shonen. It was a Shonen Jump manga actually. I really dig some of these weird esoteric shows in the 2000s are really interesting. So another good one. Here's one that I've written about more than once. And I tried to get CBR to write so many articles about this, but I couldn't even pitch them. Who's seen Genocyber? Anyone seen Genocyber? I think it's all available on YouTube, Genocyber, despite how violent it is. Genocyber is like, it's a hardcore. This anime rocks. Like this is a big anime. I think Genocyber is one of those shows that like you watch it and you're like, I need to take like a shower after seeing. It's a good one. It's 5 episodes long. Am I like good? I mean good on the weird anime esoteric scale. It's a wild show, and trigger warning if you watch it. This is violent. Like this is a vile show. Genocyber is. I can't, in good faith, do a Google image search to show you images from it because it's just that extreme. If I want my stream to be demonetized right away, I'll show you all of Genocyber. It's an intense anime. It is misanthropy, like pure misanthropy, pure hatred and contempt for humanity and human life. It is violent, grotesque, perverse, cruel, and I've watched it all the way through more than once. It's almost great, but because of the flaws in character writing, it goes from great to like terrible. Like it's fascinating though. Yeah, Genocyber is like, I can't compare it to anything else really. It's a good one, but only if you want to really just watch the first episode of Genocyber. It actually gets worse as it goes on, but Genocyber is a trip. Meonion, thank you for the super chat. Last honest thoughts on Razifon, the anti-Ava. Oh, Razifon. Oh, Razifon. Let's get Razifon up here. I have thoughts on Razifon. You're not even ready for my thoughts on Razifon. I'm seeing people compare Genocyber to Elfenlied. Yeah, but less charming than Elfenlied. Razifon is basically what if Ava, but we just added some timey-wimey mechanics to it and literally shaved off the serial numbers to it. Razifon's interesting. Also, I have to know. The dubcast. Wasn't the dubcast like just like ADV just used the same voice actors from Okay, no, that's not the case so far. Mandy Clark, okay. Monica Rial, okay. So again, some established. Cynthia Martinez, okay. So a few reoccurring. Kevin, Chrissy Austin. Okay, so I thought it was Tiffany Grant. There we go. Okay, there we go. I knew you were in there somewhere. You have to be in there somewhere. Laura Chapman. Okay, so a few of the regulars from that time period, mostly like Vance, John. Okay, a few regulars, a few irregulars. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But okay. So I'm misremembering a little bit, but there's a lot of the regular, typical anime voice dub actors. Razafon, though, I feel like I could do a review of Razafon when I go back and compare it to Evangelion. I think it's has not aged very well because it is really just Evangelion with some beautiful mech designs. Ultraman Geed, thank you for the super chat. I think you should check out Kagugoko no Suzume. Okay, I can do that. Razafon isn't much like Ava at all. I found that comparison rather shallow, frankly. Clearly inspired by Ava, but thematically different. Well, if you look at the pacing, you look at the events episode by episode, there are a lot of similarities in terms of the plot pacing, the beats, the events that happen over the course of time. The comparison isn't exactly one-to-one. Obviously, it isn't just Ava. It's an oversimplification on my part. I apologize for that. But in terms of the way the plot is sequenced and paced, it is very similar. There are differences, of course, and those differences are noteworthy and worth talking about. But when 20 years pass, not 20 years, when 15 years pass from the last time you see it, the stuff that stands out is just the stuff that sounds like Evangelion. Look at the content here. That'd be awesome. A secret fascination for Razafon despite being told knockoff. Yeah, Razafon's interesting to discuss, I feel like. Razafon's also a lot like Radim. Yeah, it's a lot like Radim, you're right. What did Courtney say? I'm just checking chat. I'm keeping an eye on chat, but I saw that one anime with the girl being kidnapped by the circus. That can't be that bad. Yes, you have seen that one. I know what you're talking about. Midori, right? Midori, that's the name of it. There's another name for it. Midori. What's the name of that series? I know it's nicknamed Midori, but that's not its name. Shoujo Tsubaki. There we go. I've seen this one too. Shoujo Tsubaki is another level. They're not Are we comparing Genocyber to Shoujo Tsubaki? They're not comparable. This is worse. Midori is worse than Genocyber. Genocyber is violent in a fantasy way. Like, it's impossibly violent. Shoujo Tsubaki is really... I mean, there's hypnosis and there's contortionists and all that. And there are fantasy elements, but it feels more real. Like, the cruelty is more real. If you like Evangelion, you can watch Razafon. I think it's worth watching. I think knowing it's going to be very similar to Eva in many ways, but I think it's worth watching. Isn't Midori a type of liquor? Yeah, it is. Midori is a green liquor. But for whatever reason, it's also nicknamed Midori. This series, I'm not sure why, because Midori's not in the name of it. Oh, Midori's the main character. That's right. Midori's the main girl in Shoujo Tsubaki. That's right. Midori was the first anime I ever reviewed. Congratulations. It's a good anime to start with. Have you seen Get Backers? Years ago. Years and years ago I saw Get Backers. How wild the Beyblade anime. Why does Beyblade keep coming up in my life? All my friends, for some reason, have gotten back into Beyblade. And I'm like, why? I don't get this. I don't remember. I don't even know. Anyway, Shoujo Tsubaki is a indie anime. Like, one guy made it, and then it was banned, I believe, in Japan. Like, theaters wouldn't hold it. And the only reason we really have any copies left of it is because the French really liked it. Have you seen Tower of God? Yeah, I did. I wasn't a big fan. That was all right. Wasn't big on that. Anyway, Hamtaro. I know Lily loves Hamtaro, so I don't want to harp on Lily too much, but it's such a, I don't know, it's such a nothing series to me, Hamtaro. Like, I remember liking it just fine, but I have no strong memories of it beyond, like, the clip from Toonami when they aired it for the first time, and, like, Tom sitting there scratching his chin going, I don't know, it's cute, I guess. Welcome to the NHK. That's a name I haven't heard in years, but I always think about. Yeah, welcome to the NHK. Back when a show could be about otaku and, like, actually be about, like, normalish people, like, who are interesting. That and, yeah, about neat. It's a good series. I like that one. I remember liking this one quite a bit. Yeah, Hamtaro is just fluff. There's not much there to it. But it's a good series if you want to... Honestly, you know what Hamtaro is good for? Showing kids to get them into anime. There is some... I've been thinking a lot more and more about introductory anime. Like what we watch when we're first getting into anime. Hamtaro is a good start. Like, I think it's a little more, like, esoteric and cutesy than, like, I think that and Hello Kitty occupy the same headspace to me. Like, they're both very, like, simple, but they're charming, and they're cute. You ever play the Hamtaro Game Boy Color games? Those are fun. Let me know if you want me to play the Hamtaro Game Boy Color games on live. Cromartie High. Oh, yeah. Me and my buddy in college love that show so much. That's a great one. What Beyblade generation did you get into? There's generations? I genuinely have no idea. I saw the original Beyblade show when it came out. That was about it. Okay, there's a few super chats all at once. The guy, Shin Cutie Honey, peak 90s OVA schlock. Yeah, love Cutie Honey. Shin that was the 90s series. I think Devilman shows up in that one, right? Or at least Kira. DF Anton. In before this explodes and gets a Legal Eagle video. If Legal Eagle covers this, I will be stunned, but I will be very happy about that. Baichi, thank you for the super chat. Welcome to NHK is great. Same with Princess Jellyfish. Yeah, Princess Jellyfish is great. I flip through Pluto TV sometimes, just to watch stuff in the middle of it. And I was with my spouse. And Princess Jellyfish was just starting up. I think it was the Crunchyroll or Retro Crush channel. One of the two. I think it was Crunchyroll. And she had never seen Princess Jellyfish, never heard of Princess Jellyfish, and like immediately got into it. Like, it's such a good show, Princess Jellyfish. It's fantastic. Have you seen Wedding Peach? Yes, I have. Petite Princess Yusi was my friend. Okay. Cutie Honey OP rules. Yeah, the Cutie Honey OP is fantastic. And yeah, I love Pluto TV. Did I ever tell you my Pluto TV story? So Pluto TV was sending out marketing collateral for Sailor Moon, the new Sailor Moon channel, the then new Sailor Moon channel they were starting up. And at the time, I had just moved. So, and I was still actively writing for CBR and other websites. And I come home one day from work, my day job, and I find a box outside my front door. And it's a box promoting the new Sailor Moon channel. Had like a ramen bowl, international Kit Kats. It was a cool little thing. I like it quite a bit. And I still have the bowl and all that. Still have the box too somewhere too. But I'm like thinking the whole time, how did you get my address? Like, I just moved. How did you know where to send this? And have my name on it and everything. So they figured something out to get my personal address to send me this promotional package, which I'm fine with. Heck, I'm down with more. If you send me promotional stuff, I will talk about it on stream at least. So, hey, send me more stuff. I'm always fun with that. Or a sponsorship even. I'd be down for that. Hey, Lily might not take sponsorships. I will. So long as you pay. I won't take a free sponsorship. Don't have much anime because most of the ones I see, the art styles are very boring. All the characters look very samey. Yeah, that's why I'm watching the Elf anime this season. Because the characters look different. I know. I'm biased. I'm a simple person. You show me interesting character designs, I'm sold. It's fun. All right. Did you know the woman who made Sailor Moon also made a guy made Hunter x Hunter? Yeah, 100%. And I knew that for years. I love that. You read the manga they wrote about meeting? It's cute. Will, thank you for the super chat. Have you seen Trigun Stampede? Hell yeah, I've seen Trigun Stampede. I love Trigun. I've read Trigun, the manga when it came out. I've watched Trigun Stampede. I even watched the movie for Trigun, a little anime movie from like the mid 2000s. I love Trigun. Vash Stampede I adore. For a while, I said Vash Stampede was my all-time favorite anime character, and that's not too far off. I used to also say that Kenshin was my favorite anime character, but the manga writer really wanted to ruin Kenshin for me. Okay, yeah, Madoka is fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of great shows. I love anime in general. I think it's a great medium. And it bothers me that I think one thing that bothers me with the whole Lily thing is how much she disparages on anime. Like, she just makes fun of it all the time, like, ridiculously. Like, she constantly criticizes it without ever actually watching it. It's very depressing. I don't know. Anthony, have you heard of the YouTube known as... have you heard of the YouTube original anime parody known as Senpai Club? I have not heard of Senpai Club. Is it good? Anyone see Senpai Club? Ultraman Geed, thank you for the super chat. Ever see the 90s OVA Devilman Lady? Yes, I have. I love Devilman Lady. I watched that years ago. I watched Devilman Lady before I knew about Devilman. Which is backwards, I know, but I remember liking it quite a bit. Midori is a... So talking about Midori. Yeah, it's a good drink. It's a good... In cocktails, it's pretty good. Fun fact, Takeuchi, who made Sailor Moon, met Togashi, who Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. They met thanks to VA Megumi Ogata, Sailor Uranus, and Kurama, setting him up for a blind date. Also, Megumi Ogata, I believe, has identified as non-binary, I think, but still uses she, her, and is the voice actor for Shinji Ikari, who is one of my all-time favorite characters. Have I seen SAO Abridged? Yes, I think it's better than the show. I don't usually say that. I know a lot of Abridged people hate when you say their Abridged product is better than the show. Like, I know the Team 4-Star, for example, like, they hate when people say, oh, this show is better than the original. And like, no, Dragon Ball's great. What are you doing? Like, I get that. I hear that entirely. And they also get annoyed when, like, you act like they're jokes or, like, fandom or canon. But, like, anyway. SAO Abridged, I think, I like more than... I personally enjoy SAO Abridged more than I like SEO, because I'm not a big SAO fan. Yeah, Shinji Ikari's up there as one of my all-time favorite characters. Not likable, but, like, a great, well-written character. I think... but although that being said, Shinji Ikari is not my favorite Evangelion character, but the fact of the matter is all the characters of Evangelion are so great. When you get that high up, you're all up there. Listen, I'm not an SAO fan. I'm not really an isekai fan, if I'm being honest with you. Most modern isekai I'm not a big fan of. You have to be like a really... it has to be a good show for me to get into an isekai. A lot of them I feel are very samey, and I'm not a fan of that. But when it's good, and I'm fine with that. Yeah. And also what's funny is before SAO, a lot of isekai were aimed for women. A lot of them were shoujo shows, like Fushigi Yugi, Magic Knight Rayearth, Escaflowne, which I all think are better than most modern isekai personally. But that's not like an academic opinion. It's not like a critical statement. That's just a personal opinion. They all have merits, but I just don't dig them. Favorite sports anime? Mine's Haikyuu. Free was good. I love Yuri on Ice. I'm very biased in that sense. But in terms of best sports anime, in terms of quality of story, not just like ones that mean a lot to me personally, best would probably be Ippo. Hajime no Ippo. The boxing one. That one's really good. There's a lot of good ones. It's good. There's some good sports anime. Initial D, does that count? I know I have a really old taste. A lot of isekai nowadays don't take advantage of what makes an isekai interesting and just use it as a escapism for the main character audience standing. Yeah, that's the issue. I think it's just boring because they don't play with this world building. Like a lot of fantasy, we're seeing a lot of really good fantasy nowadays, and all these isekai could be just as good if they invest in world building and good characterization, but they don't. Have you seen Ghost Stories? Yeah, I love Ghost Stories. I've loved Ghost Stories so much. Blue Lock is a great series too. Good taste. Slam Dunk is also fantastic. That's a good one too. Okay. I'm going to start wrapping things up. I think I've said a lot in one day, and I do want to talk about the future though. A little bit about what's to come. In the upcoming, let me move my icon a bit so you can see this beautiful wallpaper. No, my icon. Me. Move me. There we go. Sorry. This is just beautiful. I love this wallpaper so much. It's just really fantastic. Anyway. So, plans coming up for the next couple of videos. This Friday, Spider-Man comes out. Spider-Man video. We'll get to that. Members will see it early if I finish it on time, because I am running behind schedule. This week has thrown me off. I wasted a lot of time with the Lily Orchard controversy, and thus have not been able to do as much editing as I would have liked. And I had COVID, and my spouse was having a very rough Sunday night. And I had to work with that. So yeah, Spider-Man, I will try to get it uploaded early, but there's always a possibility it might take a little bit of time. Then next week, we have the Disney video. One that's about Disney and very critical of the company. Sai is working on a thumbnail for it, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. I've commissioned Sai for a couple pieces of art. That's one of them. And, listen, we have to work together on this. We have to work. We are all in the same boat together. I think it's best when creators collaborate as opposed to fight. And Sai's a very, very talented artist. I think she's going to knock it out of the park with this thumbnail. So I'm excited for that. After that, though, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I have a few vague ideas, and I'll probably write up a script or something like that beforehand. But I'm just going to think about more ideas for video essays. Again, every week, something new. I do not want to be defined by this Lily Orchard drama. Though it's brought a lot of you to me, I hope that my content material is interesting enough to keep you guys coming back for my essays and not just criticizing drama. Because drama gets old fast, and I don't want to harp on Lily forever. That being said, Courtney, you're always welcome to join on a stream if you want. Yeah, you seem to have good taste in anime, so it all works out. Hell, you probably show me up on what you know, and what I don't know. You'll show me up on stream probably. Been boycotting Disney for some time, so I'm quite curious about that one. Yeah, this is not a... People have always joked online saying I'm a Disney shill when nothing could be farther from the truth. I'm very critical of the Disney company. I love their arts, I love their works, but as a company, I'm very critical of their business practices and of what they do. And this video is going to be very critical, indeed, of it. It's not going to be a very kind video to Disney. But it's going to be like an actual criticism. It's not going to be like, oh, Disney's woke or something like that. No, it's going to be like actual meaningful. Let's dive into how Disney has cheapened their art, essentially. But we'll see. Well, you'll see when we get there. I'm still technically scripting it. I figure to have more time to work on it. I'm going to revise the script slightly, but we'll see. And something I got to tell you that's coming up. October. I'm planning on, much like with June, how I did a series of like LGBTQA themed videos, I'm going to be doing a lot of horror themed videos in the month of October. Probably a lot of horror streams. I'm going to see if we can get some friends on here to talk about horror movies, which I'm excited about. Going to do some horror video essays, and probably a couple light ones. I think one I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about at some point horror villains in a way to be like a goofy little fun video, but nothing too heavy, but fun. And quite frankly, I do want to talk about some point. I want to talk about one of my all-time favorite horror movies, which is there's a few of my all-time favorites. I want to talk about like Lake Mungo. I want to talk about Jacob's Ladder. I want to talk about like some really incredible horror films that like I think get a little overlooked, even though people know they're great. I think Jacob's Ladder is one of the all-time like brilliant horror films, but in most conversations nowadays it stops with, "Did you know Jacob's Ladder inspired Silent Hill?" Like, yeah, I do know it inspired Silent Hill. It's also a great movie on its own. Jacob's Ladder is incredible. Have you ever seen Chat? Have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder? It's one of the all-time greatest horror movies of all time. Old Universal monster movies are the bestest. Yeah, I love Universal monsters. Like, I'm not sure if you could tell this from my horror movie video with Disney. I was talking about Werewolf by Night, but I grew up with. That was how I got started. Universal monster movies as a kid. I watched them. Yeah, Lake Mungo. If you haven't seen Lake Mungo, it is one of the greatest things of all time. Are you prepared if, for whatever reason, the worst case happens and your channel has gotten removed? Well, let me tell you this. My channel's already been removed in the past. People may not know this. My very first upload got spammed with a response, negative response, and I got banned for it. It lasted for a few hours. So, if I get banned, so be it. But I'll fight it. And I'll come back. Anyway. Horror anime. Oh, there's a few good ones. I think Perfect Blue, you can't go wrong with horror anime with Perfect Blue, but there's a few. Hell's Thing I love. Shiki's great. I'm not a fan of Another or Blood Minus C. Vampire Hunter D is really fantastic. Did I hear that London After Midnight may be recovered? Yes, I have heard that. I am so excited if they found that. London After Midnight is, if you don't know what London After Midnight is, it's the holy grail of lost media. It is one of the great Lon Chaney Sr. performances that we don't have. Every copy was supposedly lost in a fire, and all we have are like production stills. Turner Classic Movies did like a recreation of the movie, essentially taking production stills in the script and kind of like assembling something like the original. It was remade in the 30s, but London After Midnight, if they found it, I gotta see. I'm seeing a few recommendations for horror movies here. Any horror games? That's a possibility. I can see myself streaming some horror games. I wouldn't mind streaming the original Silent Hill 2, but I'd have to find an emulator that works for that. I know they're remaking Silent Hill 2. I'll probably do some Dead by Daylight. That'd be fun too. Very simple. Promised Neverland. That's more science fiction. I think it's really horror. I guess it could count as horror. Alien 9. Remember that one? That was good. I think my favorite horror movies might be Carnival of Souls. Oh, Haunting of Hill House. You have some good taste. Inland Empire is a creepy movie. Are you a fan of Ryan Hollinger? Yeah, I like Ryan's videos a lot. He does some pretty good stuff. AMC Monster Fest. Yeah, I love Monster Fest. I think they had a big influence on my growth as a horror fan growing up. I got challenged to play Evil Within. Got any opinions on it? Evil Within's pretty good. I like it. It's all right. It's a solid game. I found you on Twitter originally, but I didn't realize you did content until this whole thing happened. Hopefully you're holding up okay. I'm doing all right. Thank you. I really appreciate anyone who's checking up on how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm doing all right. This whole thing to me is very exhausting. I want it to be done. That's one thing too. One of the reasons why I would like to settle this without going to court over this is I just want it to be over. I don't want to deal with this. I will see it through to the end, but I don't want it to drag out for months. I really don't. Hi, Anthony. Just to clarify, Digibro, quote unquote, goes by Trixie the Golden Witch now, or just Trixie. Okay, Trixie. I'm very sorry if I said the wrong word there, here and there. Yeah, I don't want to ever misnames anyone. You know how it is. I don't know what I don't know, and I clearly don't know a lot. Fatal Frame. Oh, Fatal Frame would be good if I could find a good emulator for that. I don't think it's on Steam or anything like that. I don't think. Fatal Frame. I have to double check. Had a hankering for the remake of Invasion of the Bystanders, and that's where I found Ryan. Yeah, the remake of Invasion of the Bystanders is incredible. I think it's a great remake. I adore it, quite frankly. Anyway, I never like dragging these things out too long, because I'd rather you get a good 3 hours than a dragged out forced 5. So I'm going to cut the stream off right here. Everyone, I really appreciate you all watching. I think it's incredible how you're all here still, and hopefully you'll come back in the future as well. I hope to continue making cool stuff, and I hope you guys come back to watch it. Thank you, everyone, so much. I'll see you all very soon. And hopefully, I'll see you again when all this is resolved. I'd really rather this be done